Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the letter I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not got a cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm finding my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all I got. I'm going to the top. Right on the way 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 to the top. I did it. I'm going in. Got me like, woo. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut the knot. Really haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm finding my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. Wanna see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut the knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's tug. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the lead and I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm finding my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. Wanna see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. Right on the way 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 to the top. Did it, I did it, I did it. I'm going in, got me like on grind. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut the knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the boys. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Live deep. The letter I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Stand at attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. You're not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm finding my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. Wanna see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all I got. I'm going to the top. Right on the way 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 to the top. Did it, I did it, I did it. I'm going in, got me like on grind. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut the knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's tug. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the boys. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in.
Guys, welcome back to League of Legends. We're here yet again. Qualifier 2 Legends Ascent South Asia with semifinals 1. It's me, Madness, alongside Hades again today. I believe we're in for a day of good matches.
Yes, indeed. Always a pleasure to be back and casting some good games. I think we're in the semifinals this time, Madness.
Yeah, we are definitely in the semifinals. Moving forward, we'll be talking a bit more about the structure of the tournament, how it's been. For now, let's just take a look a bit at the prize pool that's up on your screen. 10 lakh prize pool that will be for the tournament at the end of Legends Ascent. This is the qualifier for that, and most importantly for that first place, that spot in the LCP wildcard playoffs. I think we're all hyped about seeing one of our teams maybe hit it off in the international region, aren't we, Hades?
Oh, of course. I mean, it's a huge opportunity, not just for the countries that are representing our region, but also for the individual teams, for their glory, for their status, to make a name for themselves against, the best in the region. It's an impressive tournament already. There have been some great teams that have qualified so far, and I really can't wait to cast the rest of the games to see how this plays out.
Yeah, and then talking a bit more about the schedule, like we've already had qualifier 1, we're already in qualifier 2 right now, ends on May 25th. This is the third last day of the thing, and then qualifier 3 will begin just immediately after qualifier 2 ends. Top 3 teams from that will go to your league stage. Top 4 of that will be in your playoffs moving forward.
Playoffs, yeah. And don't worry, guys, this means that we have your League of Legends action covered all the way until August, right? So
yeah, that is your League of Legends. Talking a bit more how we're going forward. As I said, 3 teams from each of the qualifiers make up your 9 teams in the round robin stage. Out of those, the 4 will face off in a double elimination playoffs bracket where the prize pool jumps quite significantly. And yet again, another reminder, everything that we are doing is Fearless Draft. Today's a best of 3 Fearless Draft, so we're going to see a bit more of the champion pool depth of these players. So I really want to see how it goes down. Last time we did see teams struggle in the best of 5 at the end of qualifier 1. So best of 3, bit more. You're not going that deep into the champion pool, but still, it's quite a toll on some of these players.
Yes, and usually when it comes down to, especially like these 2 teams, I believe I did cast SUVO haters in their previous match, and they seem like a very well-rounded team. They draft really well. They execute on their game plans really well, and I mean, I'm hoping to see Jettfire Dojo really step up and give us a really good game against this team. So do you have any favorites, Madness? Who do you think is going to be taking this one away?
I think it's going to be quite a competition going into today. Like, it's pretty even the way I see both teams going on, but I'm going to give a slight edge towards the side of SUVO haters. I think maybe a 2-1 in their favor is what I'm looking at the outcome. Maybe I'm predicting from my side. Any prediction from your side, Hades?
I mean, I really haven't seen this other team perform, but I have a feeling that they might still give a good fight to have come so far, especially. So let's see. We're really excited to get game 1 underway. So yeah, it's SUVO haters versus Jettfire Dojo, and it's a best of 3 fearless drafts. So whoever takes the first game is definitely going to have like a big advantage, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Have an advantage, as you said. And just talking about that, we're going to head right into the draft that's going to be coming up in front of your screens. And we're going to take a first glimpse at what we're going to see coming in match 1 in front of your eyes. But maybe we just take a slight pause before that. And yeah, let's take, as we talk about the teams that were going on to it, like you said, we did catch SUVO haters. They did have a good draft. They did finish it quite off pretty well. But Jettfire Dojo does have a lot of good players. Look to D4, Scooter being their ADC does play pretty well. So I really want to see how they want to draft against them. So I do think we're going to see some good, support roams coming in, playing according to the timers of the jungle, and good macro coming in just all over there. But I really want to see what kind of aggression these kind of teams do show level 1, because we were seeing some type of aggression at least in the previous qualifier.
Yeah, I mean, we started the previous day with just a full-on clown fiesta invade in the bot lane, and everyone's just invading and everyone's like fighting. So hopefully we'll see more chaotic action like that. It makes the games more interesting, makes the games more fun. And usually, I would say any team that was able to, secure a bit of an early game lead usually tends to kind of run away with the game if they set, a good snowball going and they keep up the tempo all over the map, take good recall timers, move around the map in time for objectives, be proactive. So it's going to favor most of these teams, especially if they come out just playing super aggressive in the early game.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, yet again, another reminder, this is just qualifier 2. Teams who have already been knocked out, you guys do have another opportunity to go for qualifier 3. So I don't know if registrations are up, but you have to check out for that. And we're going to, without further ado, we're going to head straight into the draft over here between SUVO Haters, Jettfire Dojo, the best of 3 series going on between these two teams. And already we can see an armband on the screen.
I guess they don't want those ornaments on anybody, so that seems like a targeted ban towards the top side of blue team of SUVO Haters. So let's see what the response is going to be. Really thinking about it.
Yeah, I think we're just going to take a bit again, maybe just a slight hiccup going on, but yeah. Did see an odd ban. Yeah, usually don't see it as maybe the first ban going on, as it did talk about maybe a bit of a targeted ban from their side. So I really want to see what else these two teams are going to be bringing under it. But as I was talking about before, Qualifier 3 registration is pretty much going to be open pretty soon. So guys, please make sure to register for that. If you are a team that unfortunately did get knocked out, it'll be a good opportunity. And the top 6 teams currently won't be in there because 3 will be knocked out from this one, like as in they won't be able to participate in the next one, 3 from the Qualifier 1. So you have pretty good opportunities coming forward. Yet again, this is Legends in South Asia Qualifier 2 organized by Fragnation in partnership with the Riot Game. The links in all our social media in the description box below. Please head out, please go in, and please follow our Discord. We also have a Brawl event coming up, so you might want to check that out. It's a pretty good opportunity to get some free skins for yourself, so good opportunity for that going forward. So these are the kind of things you don't want to miss out, so please make sure to follow our Discord.
Yes, and indeed, also don't forget to check us out on social media. So Twitter, and that would be at League of Legends INSA. Instagram also being at League of Legends INSA. Facebook page, just look for League of Legends INSA, and you'll be able to keep updated with everything that we got going on, from giveaways to tournament-related news. And yeah, we have a really close-knit community, and it's one that we can definitely be proud about, I would say, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, we're growing as a community. We have a lot of members coming in, new timers from time to time you'll see coming into the general chats. They want to just, get a nice feel of the game, looking for people to maybe help them out along that journey. We hold some customs also at the night times. Like yesterday was a good custom games going on. We did a couple of customs in the Rift, then customs in the ARAM. So you don't want to miss out on any of that action. So you should maybe, come and hit us up, talk to us. We like to enjoy talking to people who enjoy the same game that we do, and who doesn't like League of Legends, especially going on right now with the kind of action that's going on, not just in our regional leagues, around the world, especially with the EWC Cup coming up as well. You have the Esports World Cup coming up, and that's a huge talking point going forward. Last time League did compete, I think it was a pretty, it's going to be one of the Korean or Chinese teams currently, at least, who are the top most. But we always like to see like an underdog story coming forward.
Of course, I mean, sometimes, you do. We have seen some upsets before. If anything goes to show, like, come on, any team. It doesn't matter which region you're from. It doesn't matter if you're from the LCK, the LPL, or from a wildcard region. if you are able to just make your country proud and just play your best, always give it your best, win or lose, you're still a winner. That's what I feel personally. So to all the teams that are competing for this wildcard spot, all I say is keep an eye on the competition, just learn whenever you can, and try to adapt and grow, because I have a feeling at some point in time we're gonna see teams from wildcard regions and hopefully from the South Asian region make it really far in global tournaments.
Yeah, even I'm hoping for something of that kind. Like, we really want to see, represent your nation over there. We've already had a couple of countries from the South Asia represent, at least for League of Legends, in the Asian games. So they've already had a bit of that international experience, but now maybe in the proper circuit where it's, you have worlds on the line, something like that is something that you want to see from them going on. And now finally, at least we're getting a spot, as you said, the wildcard playoff spot for the LCP going on, that newly introduced league just coming into this year. So this now pathways are opening up for people who do want to approach that. You don't just have to, do a job and play the game at the same time. You can maybe focus on the game right now, especially with the kind of prize pools that are coming out and the amount of money you can get just by being a regular stay in the scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good career as well, especially to young players who are looking to build a career around esports. And I'm sure that with more tournaments being organized, there's also going to be a lot of talent scouts looking to try to recruit players for actual major league teams. So, I mean, if you seem to have a knack for playing League of Legends and just have that mentality, the standout performances, and looks like we're back into draft. And yeah, let's see how this continues. I do believe SUVO haters did take away the Ornn on the first ban rather.
Yeah, it does seem something like that. We're just going to get a bit of an update going on. Yes, we are going to have the draft. It's pretty much about to start underway, so we just don't want to, hold the excitement anymore. We've talked a lot about the game going forward, but one thing that we haven't talked about is maybe tomorrow's matchup. But yes, I don't think we're even going to get time. We're going to head right back in to the draft, and it seems like they're targeting the top quite a bit from the side of SUVO haters. They're taking out the Jax, taking out the Ornn, and Jettfire Dojo has answered back with a Renata ban and a Yorick ban. They really don't want to see Red Devil on that Yorick, because we saw that in the previous time we were casting them, did we not, over there?
Yeah, also, Yorick is one of those champions who's just gonna be like, okay, you guys fight somewhere on the map, I'm just gonna take their entire Nexus while I do that, so they don't want any of those shenanigans. Oh, a Yasuo ban as well, so they don't want these fancy wombo combos coming through. Also taking away the late game scaling options on the top side of the map by taking away the Jax as well as the Ornn. Ambessa being the answer to the Yasuo ban as well, I guess. These are all, other than for that one support ban, all seem to be targeted around the top top side of the map. And, we can already see a Pantheon being locked in. Now, this is a very interesting takeaway. Pantheon is a super strong pick right now in the current meta, and I can see that it can be piloted to some success. Pantheon is a flexible champion, of course, can be flex mid, support, top jungle, so a great first pickup, but let's see what the answer is going to be. And that's going to be a
like they're going
locked
to
in.
pick up the Vi. Yeah, exactly. The Vi locked in from Jettfire. But as you said, Pantheon, a very good as a first pick, because as you said, flex, playing a bit of mind games with what you want to pick up. You don't honestly know where that's going. Another thing, the Gwen, the Aatrox is left open for Nawai. I know he likes to play those champions in the top, loves playing the Aatrox, so maybe we get to see that coming out from him going on, continue on into this draft. But yes, Jettfire.
Let's see if they do. Let's see if they pick
and
up
they're going to
more
lock in the
CC.
Nautilus.
Yeah, so great. So see, they're setting up their team combo really well. They've chosen Nautilus being a really good support at just leaving lane, finding good roam timers, moving together as a two-man squad with the jungler, just causing chaos in the enemy jungle. And also, Y has the point-and-click CC with the ultimate, as well as Nautilus also with the point-and-click CC, and just overall. A Jinx and Braum response, actually the bot lane being locked in for the side of SUVO haters, so they have the scaling option. So which means that this Pantheon is definitely either going mid, top, or jungle. So it's still a flexible option. Let's see what the answer is going to be. I think they're going to round it out with an ADC pick here. They might look towards securing a hyper carry of their own in the bot lane. Let's see what they go with. And of course, they're going to go with the Kai'Sa. Plenty of CC for the Kai'Sa to reposition in team fights with her ultimate. So overall, I mean, so far this draft has been really good by both teams. Both taking scaling options, both taking very strong. Perhaps mid top. I still don't know where this Pantheon is going. I guess it'll depend on how the next ban phase is going to go. So let's see what they want to take away. They probably want to take away some mid laners now. Oh, the top lane bans continue. Gwen has also been removed.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Now, Void's Gwen was left open, and that's instantly not going to see the Rift anymore. The Cyan gets banned, and yet again, top lane bans still wreak havoc over here in the draft right now. We have seen One Above All previously on the Jinx on our one of our broadcasts, so he is pretty good on the champion. He does kite pretty well, keeps his spacing pretty much nicely for them, and they're going to round off Jettfire's Dojos at least banning with the Ahri ban. Ahri, a very good solid blind pick for your mid laner, so they want to remove that out of the picture.
Yeah,
so it does leave a lot of options for Jettfire to hit back
right?
with. They can, but I honestly don't think they want to go for it. Maybe just how their players would prefer to play out the matchup right now. You already have a good amount of CC. You have one hyper carry locked in for yourself. But as you said, yes, Ahri can be played over there, but maybe just Free doesn't want to play for themselves. And yet another top/jungle ban in the form of that Volibear.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I guess they don't want to have a big polar bear just coming and shutting off a turret and making like a 4-man, 5-man dive possible and with no counterplay to that. So the Yone seems to be the pickup on the side of the red team of Jettfire Dojo. Again, this is a champion that can also be flexed. However, they're severely lacking on the AC, and Talia would actually be a really good pick here because these are champions with dashes. There's Y who has a dash. There's Yone that has a dash. Even Nautilus, once it hooks onto something, will dash across that distance. So just Unraveled Earth makes it a lot more difficult and challenging in team fights for these teams to navigate. And as you said, the Aatrox has been hovered here to the side of SUVO haters. Let's see if they want to lock it in, and yes, they do. So let's see what the final pick here is going to be. It looks like they're going to have to need some kind of a control mage or some kind of an AP damage threat to even this out. Let's see what they're going to go with.
True.
And so, probably something like a Victor, or I feel like would be a really good option here. I'm not sure about a Gragas here. I mean, it is a good champion, especially in the hands of a player who really knows the mechanics and how to play around this champion. Hint, if you're a fan of the Baus, then you probably know what's going to be. Bombas in the top lane. But yeah, what I think is that Jettfire Dojo have a kind of a short range, all in kind of comp. It's all or nothing. You go in, you try to take out the backline, but that's not going to be easy to do, especially with having a Braum, well, and Aatrox to kind of just wreak havoc in the front lines, play front to back. So I would definitely give SUVO haters the advantage in game number 1 with their draft. Just because they have also the effect of the global ultimates from the Pantheon and the Talia just being able to instantly just join a fight from halfway across the world.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And yeah, pretty much SUVO haters gameplay going is protect Mr. President, going to be the Jinx. But last time we did see Void on the Aatrox, he did pick up a quarter kill, so he's nothing to be scuffed about. This is pretty much his primary pick, and he's got it through the draft. He's got it in his hands. So I'm really going to be looking to see what Void can do with the Aatrox top. As you said, very hard to touch the Jinx, even though you have a lot that can dive on Jinx if she spaces pretty well. The Braum, Pantheon can deter any threats coming. As you also did say, the Gragas pick, maybe not the best choice coming into this matchup or what we wanted to be played out, but with the Yone pick over there, with you already know it's Aatrox top, maybe just limited options for what they wanted as an AP top laner, because I don't think the Yone, after it was picked, they didn't think it's going to go top with him. Given the player's name is Mage itself, I don't think he's going to be ending up playing a Yone top.
Yeah,
so
I was just wondering.
I think that's pretty much the locking draft, and I think we can both agree we're just going to favor the side of SUVO haters, at least draft wise, going into game 1 before we head off into the Rift over here. So yeah, maybe a advantage going on to them. I want to see One Above All with another MVP kind of performance that he did last time have on the Jinx as well. and Navoid on the Aatrox going to be something that you have to worry about. If they draw enough attention, I think Jettfire Dojo maybe already looking towards the game 2 side at this point, just how draft is. But we never know. This is all just theory. We're going to have to see what's going to happen actually on the Rift at the end of the day when we lock it in.
Yeah, and just to add to that, excuse me, but yeah, I do see a problem in terms of just finding a good engage. How are they going to get on one above all? How are they going to get on the Jinx? They have to go through the Talia E's, the Braum shields, the Braum ultimates, and Aatrox just literally throwing AoE in your face. Like, it's not going to be easy. And also, they even locked in the Gragas after seeing this Talia. So another champion with a dash. So in essence, they kind of countered themselves with that pick. So I was hoping to see maybe something like a Victor, a champion that outranges the Talia, would have an easy matchup. But I guess they may have expected the Yone to be going to the mid lane. Once again, it's not going to be easy. Talia always wins these in the early game, especially against champions that rely on having to step forward into minion waves to last 10. So yeah, we have 38 more seconds of time remaining, and we will be jumping right into the first game. So, Madness, so why don't you share your thoughts? Who do you see taking this game?
I honestly say, given the picks that SUVO hitters have gone for, what they've locked in for themselves, their comp overall, I'm pretty on the side of what SUVO hitters will do in this game for themselves. It looks like a pretty good standard comp for their side. They have pretty good, maneuverability on those champions. They're pretty used to them as well. So I don't doubt that maybe SUVO fighters do take this. I really want to see Jettfire answer back with something. But yeah, maybe the last pick just not working out wonders for the side with that Gragas for themselves. You wanted maybe something out is the Talia, like you said, but with Yone going mid, maybe something else top side. The Gragas probably going with the Cosmic Drive build. Maybe we'll try to look for some bombas in game going on. Maybe, as you said, cosplaying the Baus going top side. So we really want to see what he goes for. Especially that we might be a Baus type player, given that they banned up the Scion also against him. So maybe he has that kind of mentality when he goes into the lane.
Yeah, and also you're looking at Aatrox against a champion like Gragas. It can be extremely frustrating because Gragas just can just so easily just proxy wave, just be really annoying, wave clear for days without really having to step up, and also just has great scaling overall. So it's going to be a pretty neutral matchup. I feel like it's going to be a bit of a handshake. Let's just see if there's going to be any, type of proxy shenanigans by this Gragas, which might come into effect, especially if you're following, top lane streamers like Aloys. You'll learn a lot about fundamentals. So new players, you can learn about top lane fundamentals of shenanigans and how to proxy, how to set up freezes, how to set up good recall timers, use information on the map. So let's see if all these players know their stuff. I mean, I'm an old player, an old retired player, but still have a passion for the game, which is why we're here now. And I also think that SUVO haters have a favorable draft going into this. And I guess it's up to execution and to see if the Dojo will be able to bring down this Jinx comp, this Protect the President comp, like you said. So it's all going to depend on the early game. If they can go ahead and just take over in the early game, then they might just be able to shut down this team before giving them any options to scale, which is always a possibility because, as you said, this is League of Legends. There's always comeback mechanisms. And one Elder flip might just be all it takes for a game to just completely flip on its head. And so we'll never know what's going to go down.
Yeah, as you said, it's going to take a bit about objectives as well, how you want to play your macro out going into this matchup over there. Maybe a little level 1, especially the Braum on your side. Maybe you can do some shenanigans for yourself over there. Talia maybe start W. You can do a lot of things. But yeah, Talia pick coming in very instrumental for yourself. As you said, a lot of dashes and stuff to be stopped by that champion. And now with the Pantheon and Talia, you can just go for maybe a double gank anywhere across the map, depending on the timing and how you want to play it out. RD is a very aggressive jungler, so I'm going to be looking for some early ganks coming from his side. Maybe pressuring the top bot, depending on how he wants to go for his pathing at the end of the day. It's between them and their team. They looked pretty excited when I had talked to a couple of members before the game. And the terms of Ishan is rooting for this team, especially from the sidelines. I really want to see if they listen to the TP calls coming into the game, because maybe there's always nerves going into the first game of the day as well. A lot of easy mistakes that can occur from teams, even of the experienced kind and variety. But let's hold that thought for the further future, because we are heading right into the Rift. It's going to be game 1 of the best of 3 Fearless Draft, semi-final 1 of quarterfinal 2 between SUVO Haters and Jettfire's Dojo.
Yes, and I also can't wait to see how it definitely looks like the team with the Braum definitely does want to make some early moves, look for a bot lane invade, but it's most likely going to get spotted out by the Kai'Sa. Let's see if they hug the wall though, because if they do hug the wall and play with the Fog of War, they might be able to sneak in, maybe try to burn a flash. Let's see.
Can't look like that. Kai'Sa really wants to be careful about it, but it doesn't look like they want to walk up right now. They're going to choose against it completely. Just want to maybe protect their own invade coming out from that side. But like we usually do see, maybe no level 1 shenanigans whatsoever. It looked like SUVO Haters wanted to set up maybe a defensive type of barrier over there, but no action coming out whatsoever. Vi going to be starting her red buff, going to be doing top to bottom. So does seems the Pantheon going to be starting his blue, going top to bottom. So bot lane priority is going to be one of the things these teams are looking for, especially the Jinx over there. But Talia going to get caught out, putting out the wall.
I'm not sure Talia wanted to do that.
She gets hit with that Q, especially so close to when the minions are spawning. Maybe not what you want to do. Starting lane off with a bit of HP deficit.
Indeed, and this is good for the Yone. Like he still has to step up, and he's playing super respectfully here, not wanting to take any additional poke, maintain this lead that he has.
Absolutely, and in the bot side, a lot of trading going on essentially over there. They really want to get this level 2 for themselves, keep this wave pushed in towards that side. Itachi, after his, a bit rough start to the lane from courtesy of the Vi Q to the face, is, recovering quite nicely, getting good poke against the Yone there. Both junglers now going to be at the buff side. Free coming in with a lot of poke. The Q3 does land and forces Talia to burn both of her HP pods.
It does indeed, and this is not putting... I mean, even Yone does not have an HP pot left, but he does have the extra sustain with the D shield. So, and also Talia, they're just making good use of the E, making sure that the Yone's gonna get stunned and also take an even trade there. So good, just a general awareness by her to walk towards her E to make sure the Yone does get stunned there. And you might see Nautilus try to look for a hook, but this is not gonna be an easy lane. Top lane, meanwhile, as you can see, it's they're almost dead even. They're handshaking because neither has kill pressure on the other. If anything, it is the Baus who seems to have, but I'm not sure you want to take those trades, buddy, against the champion.
Yeah, that's a very aggressive trades going on. Yeah, Aatrox doing quite a bit of damage over here, especially, and Pantheon also has tempo onto the Vi going into the jungle over there. He's already reached his red buff, while Vi's not even started the blue quite right about now. And looks like he'll have tempo going, especially now the lane's getting pushed bot side. Look at the positioning of the Kai'Sa and the Nautilus. There is no ward in the tri-bush, so the Pantheon can be looking for a gank as well.
And Y seems to be also pathing towards the bot side of the map, so we might see a 3v3 very soon.
And that's what we're talking about. There goes the Pantheon onto the Nautilus. Nautilus doesn't land onto the terrain, but the Chompers don't prevent the Nautilus from running away. He does end up burning his flash to get out of the exchange over there. So that's now one flashless Nautilus in the bot side, and that's because Pantheon had a bit more tempo. But look at this, Pantheon might get surrounded over here. Yone's coming. Here's the Vi. Here's the Nautilus. Pantheon might be forced to flash over the wall. He gets stuck up. The flash Q from the Vi. RD flashes over that side. Itachi's trying to run for his life on the other side. Rook to T4 has to pop the barrier to survive. Chompers do land, and you proc off the Braum passive onto the Vi, but no kills coming in whatsoever. Freeze taking a couple of free autos at the end of the day. But at the end of those fights, nobody actually ends up picking up the first blood.
Yep, that was a whole lot of I'm just gonna run at you and scare you, and you're gonna get scared and run away. And I think both teams got kind of scared. I'm like, okay, we just took summoners from each other. That's fine. So taking stock of the situation, flashes down on exhaust down on the Braum. And we have the flash and teleport down from the Talia. And on the side of the Dojos, they also have burnt quite a number of summoners there. So the Kai'Sa with no sums, the Nautilus with no sums, the Y with no flash. Even Gragas has used his flash. So, like, yeah, this is going to be us. Whatever's going to happen in the next 5 minutes is definitely going to be some kills on the board. That's for sure.
It does look exactly like that, especially with Navoid having the TP advantage, with Drake being up right now. Can put a lot of pressure. Vi is trying to look up over there, maybe after picking up the scuttle for herself, or maybe just going to queue over the wall instead. And blue side have complete vision over Drake. No ward coming in yet right now from Jettfire's Dojo. Maybe Nautilus wants to look to put a ward, but doesn't have a ward to actually place, essentially. Bot side, Kaisa up around 3 CS for herself. Has the wave a bit more on the side of her side, and Jinx staying a bit behind. Puts that on the control board on the tri-bush over there and is walking back into lane. Top side, as you said, CS a bit now in favor of the Aatrox. While mid is the one that seems the most even in terms of CS number. Hook gonna land here onto the Braum. Not the target, essentially. You want to go for Chompers, not gonna prevent the Nautilus from his escape. Does get hit up by the Braum passive, but just a bunch of trades essentially coming out.
I feel like this would be a good window for Yon to use the level advantage that he has against the level 5 and try to go for Alden, especially after Talia has used the Unraveled Earth, but seems to be playing it safe. Doesn't have vision towards the bottom half of the map, so it doesn't know where this Pantheon is. Just playing respectfully, I understand that. And looks like both teams seem to be almost like even in terms of gold, just like about a 300 gold lead on the side of SUVO haters right now, just by having the CS leads across the board. And Nautilus hooking the wall there.
No, that's not the hook.
And
that's not what you want.
Be a dead why I'm not
sure. Vi is gone out of that exchange completely. That hook, not what you want out of your Nautilus. Vi ends up paying for his sins. First blood going over to SUVO haters, and they're going to end up picking up the first streak of the game as well.
I mean, just give it to me. Give me all of the objectives, give me all of the kills, and the one to pick up that kill was Talia, which will accelerate her lead a little bit in the mid lane here. Which is great also for her because she's going to be that main AP damage threat. And you can see here, looking at the replay, the Nautilus fails the hook, hooks into the wall, and I don't think I'm not sure she really wanted to take that engage. I'm not sure what the thought process behind that was. It's like, hopefully land a Q, and they'll be able to burst somebody down. But when the Nautilus missed the hook, I think that was a sign to just back away. Don't queue forward, queue backwards. Don't follow the Lee syndrome.
Yeah, but her Q was straight into the chompers of the Jinx, so that was not advised. She just completely gets rooted in place, and 100 to 0 very instantly from their side. The kill going over to the Talia over there essentially. And now, advantage right now, at least for SUVO haters. They pick up first Drake, pick up first blood, around 800 gold in the lead as well. Navoid and Gragas on the top side, even in terms of CS numbers. And it looks like with the kind of tempo that they have, Jettfire Dojo wants to go for the grub, but Pantheon is close by, but I don't think there's any way you can challenge because Talia, Braum, Jinx are not even in the vicinity right now.
Yeah, good rotation there coming in by the support of Dojos. And they were going to probably secure all 3 here, unless, of course, we're going to...
Hold that thought. They're coming in over here. The Chompers comes over here. Yon is left alone. Also on the back line, he does manage to pick up the Talia, but instantly has to E out of it. E's back. Gets away from the exchange. The Vi ultimate does connect onto Talia. Talia has to run for her life. Does end up going down to the Gragas in that fight. A flash getting burned by RD. Trying to get out. Just jump back in. Picks up the Nautilus. The Vi has to run for her life. If you want to get more excitement onto this Jinx, one more auto from one above all will secure the kill. But no, it says charges back onto the Gragas. Instantly turns that around. Vi comes back in and they pick up the Braum and the Jinx, and she's going to be looking to pick up the last of the grubs for her team.
Wow. Okay, that was chaos. Like, I mean, the little things that happened in that fight, like the Yon surviving by managing to flash with the Q3, all of that was good. And look at the fancy feed there. Free just playing freely, just being a threat, being a menace, try to deal as much damage as he can in that exchange. But I think there was a win there for the side of the Dojos.
Oh, absolutely.
And now they're actually sitting on more than a 1,000. They're sitting on a 1,000 gold lead at this point. So, and also you can see they have chosen to make a rotation. They've chosen to swap lanes.
They had chosen it before the girls fight. The Aatrox had already gone bad side. The Bomber does stand the Jinx against the wall. The Chompers do come in. I don't think the Vi can even go forward. Just sort of the pathing of those Chompers. Any Q will just get her stuck in the traps. Previously, that fight at the Grubs was a 3-for-1 in favor of Jettfire's Dojo. They even end up picking up all 3 Grubs. So a bit of a misplay coming from SUVO hitters. They came very late to the fight, but just the beautiful work that was coming in from the Gragas, from the Vi, from the Yone over there. Yone survived for so long in that fight. And just nice fancy feet coming in from Free over there.
Indeed, and having a look once again now, looks like the Summoners are up again. So the next fight is probably going to be another one where we won't probably see a lot of kills coming through, but the objectively definitely now in favor of JDJ. Yo, stunning himself there with the Q3, walking into Unraveled Earth. This is what's going to be a problem for them, I feel, in the later stages of this game. When the good teams kind of group up around objectives and have to kind of start a fight, how are you going to play around the Talia E? How are you going to, use all the dashes that you have? Because
the Pantheon comes in onto the Gragas. Gragas doesn't have an E to run away. Doesn't even have the ult to throw them aside. It's going to be a shutdown coming over for the Pantheon. We use a nice ultimate, and Gragas just a bit too out of position over than the bot side. The Q from the Braum did land, forces him to use his E. After that, he had nothing to escape once Pantheon came into that fight. Stunned, locked down, gets neutralized immediately over there. The top side, as you said, complete role reversal over there. Nice a bit of damage put onto the wire underneath her turret, especially the Braum passive lining up with the W from Jinx landing there. Unfortunately, the kill maybe if going into the box of the Jinx would have been better in that scenario, but we can't always aim for perfection over there. Top side, Navoid not even struggling against this 1 versus 2 in the top side.
Yeah, he's okay to just stay under his turret and pick up whatever CS that he can here. And looks like there's going to be a reset for the top side of the map. They probably want to try to match the Jinx and the Braum here. Let's see how they're going to respond to this dragon spawning up in just like a little bit of time as well. It does look like the priority is definitely in favor of the blue team right now. So they're going to pick up the second Drake, seemingly uncontested for themselves. So SUVO haters answering with an uncontested dragon actually. So good awareness to have to just be there on time, pick it up before too late. Pantheon
Why is
I'm not sure that's
looking the ultimate from the Yone connects on both members of SUVO haters. Instantly the Pantheon goes down, so follows the Talia, unfortunately in the hands of the Nautilus over there, but nice setup from them. They end up giving the Drake, but catch out some Stranglers on the way out from the side of SUVO haters. Nice Yone ultimate secures that, especially after that he's going to pick up some plates for himself, and looks like lanes have been swapped yet again, especially now with Dragon being up at that time at least. So nice rotations coming, good macro plays essentially coming in from both teams. And then you can see in your replay, nice Yone ultimate does land. It just looks so beautiful once it lands like that.
I think that maybe Pantheon could have held on to his E for a little bit longer. He kind of used it early, thinking that he was going to get jumped on. Might have been able to tank up a little bit longer, might have changed the outcome of the fight, we never really know, but hopefully this won't impact the game too much. They were still able to pick up the objective, which is the most important thing. So 2 dragons to 3 grubs seems to be the objective trade here. 0 turrets to 0. And JDJ still in the lead this game and having about a lead of about 1,800 now. Approximately close to about 1,000. We're going to see a reset from the bot side of the map as well.
It does seem pretty good for them. Even the mid lane Yone up around 10 CS onto the Talia. The bot side cancelling their recall. They don't want to get a reset. We just maybe try to think about how they want to play it out. But yeah, 6 kills to 3 in favor of Jettfire's Dojo right now. And it's looking pressure on Jinx. Wants to freeze the Cull as soon as possible. Get some more added gold in her pocket at least. Vi is maybe looking for a deep invade on that side, but unfortunately that buff has already been taken. Here comes Free. He's going to latch onto Itachi over, get as much damage. Maybe insecure a kill for himself. That's exactly what he gets. A nice solo bolo coming in from the Yone onto the Talia over in the mid side. And it's just not looking good for Itachi currently right now. And Free is looking like a man that's been unleashed.
May's just going all out there. He's just like, I don't care. I'm going to throw everything at you, including the kitchen sink. and see how this goes. I'm not sure you want to do this, buddy. Aatrox still has World Ender, but is able to actually get away, giving the Yone yet another kill.
Yeah, it does look pretty good for what this fight going on, but nice.
Oh, no.
It does look that's where you saw Mage trying to bait in for that fight over there, and it just went completely with Free coming in with landing his ultimate. They do manage to pick up the kill on the Phantom, and then they did come in with the ultimate. Unfortunately, did not work out. So the global ultimate is just not working out for SUVO haters, at least in the beginning side of this match. It looks like the Rift Herald's also going to be end up picked up by the side of Jettfire's Dojo.
Yeah, and also first start going down in favor of SUVO haters, so they seem to be having good control of this map. Jinx seems to be farming really well as well, and is probably gonna recall and pick herself up her tier 2 boots, or maybe even just come with a
It does seem to be like that. Wami wants to pick up the Berserker Greens for herself going into this matchup. Who needs them at movement speed? Free. He does not stop at all. Going in on to lead over there. Now they're grouping up 4 in the mid side. Maybe even look for a tower dive angle essentially over here. The top side, Itachi putting on some pressure onto the Gragas. But Gragas did wonderfully, at least for the pick that we did mention. Rift Herald unleashed in the mid side. Do pick up the tier 1 before the Rift Herald does land. So they're going to get maybe even a third hit from this Rift Herald if the Rift Herald doesn't end up getting chunked too low. Here comes the Jinx. Gonna get excited of killing the Rift Herald over in that fight. The Nautilus hook barely missing onto the Red Devil over here. But mind you, this turret has not gone. They can't fight so close to the turret, but they do not care for the side of Jettfire Zone. They pick up the kill on the Pendant. They pick up the tier 2 for yourself. And Talia, I don't know why you're so late with the ultimate. It just does not make sense, at least at that point of the fight. It seems like we do have a pause going on over here. It gets unpaused almost immediately on that side. And now you can see they're walking towards Drake. Drake's going to be spawned. They pick up a tier 1 in the top side. So they picked up 2 turrets in the mid lane, 1 turret in the top side, have a 3 turret to 1 advantage on the side of Jettfire. And when it looked a bit bleak, at least in the starting for the side of Jettfire's, for the side of Jettfire, they turned it out completely, especially after that Grubs fight, and it looks pretty phenomenal, at least coming in from the side. Free 205, 400 gold bounty on his head. The Vi 315, 250 gold. After her, a bit of a hiccup on that Q in the Chompers earlier on in the bot side. Tribush, I don't see much, errors in her plays right now. And look at this, a bit of bush camping coming in from the side of SUVO haters. Will Gragas face check this? I hope he does not. He's walking up. He's going to use the Q to maybe get a sound Q check onto that over there. And yes, does deter the side of SUVO haters from walking up so much. Drake, a lot of blue pings coming out on the map. You want to see that they don't want to fight for the Drake right now. They want Jettfire's Dojo side to be the ones who initiate it, take some maybe dragon damage or slows going on to the fight. Look at here now, Void's walking up quite a bit. Yone maybe looking on the flank. He's still in the middle, like trying to clear out some waves before he heads in for the fight. So the wave has already pushed up towards the tier 3 side. He's just looking for the flank. A hook does land from the Nautilus, but no follow-up coming from the side of Jettfire's Dojo. The W doesn't hit from the Jinx. Nice Q from the Vi to sidestep onto that. Dragon down to half HP. Here comes the Yone. He's instead trying to group up with his team instead of going for the flank. He can maybe even look for a triple or quadruple man ultimate over here. Dragon's very low on HP. Who ends up picking up here? Goes Nautilus into it. The Pantheon that ends up picking it up. Instantly goes down the Nautilus. Instantly goes down the Braum over here on the bot side. Itachi's running for his life. Here comes the Bomber. Here's the Gragas who picks it up. Now Void left to his own devices. He will end up falling too. That's an ace coming out from Jettfire's Dojo, only for the casualty of their support. They do end up losing the Drake, but they're going to end up picking up the tier 3 as well as the inhibitor for their troubles. Now walking up, it looks, yes, exactly what we said. Tier 3 gets picked up. Inhibitor, maybe not on the books, especially with such relatively low death timers right now. They're going to be walking away. Atakan going to be spawning up in a minute's time. So we're going to have to look out for something of that variety, how they want to play it around. But Jettfire is doing a commanding lead already in this match. Around 7k gold up as well. Going to be taking some camps also away. Going to, make the Pantheon go a bit hungry, and they're going to be towards the top side. Going to maybe put some wards out. I would like to see some wardage coming out over here, but no, unfortunately, the Gragas doesn't have a ward to play, so that's RD is just going to pick up his red buff. He's not been having the best of matches. He's been looking for the ganks. Only isolated fight they could land was on the Gragas earlier on in the matchup on the bot side, which is a good use of the Pantheon. But other than that, not seeing much usage, at least from the side of Red Devil on the Pantheon currently right now. The Void really wants to keep this wave at least towards this side because he doesn't have a turret to fall back, mind you, and it's the side Atakan's spawning, so that's where most teams will be making their priority going forward. And as you can see over here, he's in the picking upper area, but Atakan has spawned. And now it's just about how you want to go the waves. 3, 5, 0, and 6. Man has not died. Has the max bounty on his head of 700 as well. Kai'Sa, pretty good shape. Has the Kraken Slayer going for the Ginsu's Rage Blade as well. Almost completed that item at the back end of it. Is equal in CS with the Jinx, but where the CS difference has been blasted out of the park is between the Yone and the Talia currently. It's 30 in favor at least of the Yone, and he's going to even pick up more gold with this turret pick up in the bot side of the map. Oh, but you don't want to be walking there, Aatrox. He has to pop the ult to maybe get out. Pantheon is also following up over here, but they've been chunked down quite a bit. Pantheon gets ulted by the Vide, instantly goes down even before the Braum ult can come out. Mage is looking for the E, does not connect onto Lean, so nothing else will be coming out of the fight. The TP from the Yone onto the top side of the map. It looks like a perfect time to maybe go for Atakan, especially with the jungler of SUVO haters being down. And I think this is the call of SUVO haters have to back out from this fight. There's not much you can do except, you know, wave bye-bye to the Atakan going towards the top, to the other team.
Yeah, and I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Seem to be having a little bit of internet issues, just Sri Lankan internet things. But I'm back, and but yeah, it does look like in the time that I was away that the Dojos seem to have taken a commanding lead of this game, sitting on a very comfortable gold lead of like almost 10,000 now. And also this Yone just is absolutely unstoppable at this point. 506, 2 items completed, and he's not even afraid to walk into 3 people. Like, he knows he's got his team behind him. He has Kai'Sa, who's also on 2-0, a Y who's on 4-1. So all of the solo lanes, all of the lanes seeming to have just won in terms of the pressure on the map and just these good early game rotations and early game plays. I do want to say that I feel like SUVO haters were just trying to contest every single thing on the map without really being even on, with items and CS, and just took some bad fights and now have fallen even further. Now they're just gonna have to kind of hold down the fort, get this Jinx, funnel this Jinx, give her all the resources on the map, get her to her item power spikes. I think that's the only way they have a chance of coming back now.
Yeah, but even then it seems a bit too dire. The Jinx is so far behind right now. Her Infinity Edge, she doesn't even have the BF sword component of the Infinity Edge right now because she needs quite a bit of gold. As you said, gonna have to funnel quite a bit onto her. She's gonna be picking up the mid wave now. Void is stalling on the top side, has got a CS advantage on the Gragas right now, but that has for the Gragas roaming much places, and Avoid sticking towards the top side. Drake's gonna be coming up anytime soon. One above all, clearing the pink ward over here. And look at this, Jettfire is already grouped over there, already trying to take the vision for themselves. Now Void versus the Gragas in a solo fight in the top side, just toying around with each other, trying to trade out as much as they can. Both have TPs up, can join the fights at any moment or any moment's time. Red Devil 262 Pantheon, Talia 241. Not good numbers coming out from this side. Both the kills on the jungler and the mid laner, but have quite a bit deaths as well to their name. Looks like they want to forsake the Drake and just pressure the top tier 1 instead, because that's the call that's coming out from the side of SUVO haters. There are 3 Drakes in the lead, so really they don't mind giving up 1 Drake. True.
But they're really committed. They're committed to really taking this down. They just want to just open up that top half of the map, just have a little bit more control around the Baron pit, because once both these teams start fighting for the Barons, that is when we will see the gold differential actually playing a very big part here. Currently 42.3k gold to 35, so significant lead. Bot lane being pressured here, and this Yone just does not care. Buddy, I'm not sure you want to tank that charge for too long, and Talia also having to flash forward and just wasting that super mega death rocket also flying by. Did not seem to connect there. So yeah, Summoner is blown. on both teams. I'm not sure what the angle of that Talia flash was. A little bit ambitious there. Maybe just desperation at these times. Your team is down 11 kills. You're down about 7,000 gold. Like you need to try to get something back. So I can understand the frustration here, but the longer this game goes, it doesn't look like it's gonna get any easier for the side of SUVO haters, who were used to coming in to win this match, considering that they had the advantage in the draft, just didn't execute it properly.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're talking about the execution just not coming out. A bit of desperation attempts, at least on the bot side over there in those fights. Talia ends up burning a flash, so she'll be maybe easy to pick off in the coming up team fights. Baron has spawned, mind you. Lee's trying to get some vision for himself over the. They only got the far side of alteration sitting here.
Bro.
This Baron will end up melting. So Lily's on the bot side facing off against the Gragas. They both have TPs, but SUVO are so far behind. There's not much you can even try to contest. They are trying to walk up, but not much can be done for their walking. Like they're trying to just try, and it looks like GG just want to bait a fight up instead. They don't even want to pick up Baron. They just want to maybe pick up RD. He's being left alone. He does get picked up with the hook, but here comes the Void. The Void just jumps into the fight. RD's being chunked quite a bit
That's
low.
the jungler.
It looks like the Void will end up going down. Kaiser comes in with the ultimate, but instantly rooted into the place. Now she's in a bit of no man's land. This can give the reset onto the Jinx. Excited, she's going forward over here. She's getting a lot of gold for her. But Lilial comes in, stops the escape of the Nautilus, and this is exactly what SUVO haters were looking for. This is exactly what Jettfire did not want to do. Free going back into the fight. Nice flash by one above all to get away from the R coming in from the Yone. Will he end up surviving? But he does not. It's the Yone who's picking up the fight. Look how long he survives over here. He has bought so much time, even with these recall timers as well. It was a good flash by the Jinx, but it just was, at the end of the day, it came to naught. She doesn't even have a completed Infinity Edge after all that fighting. She doesn't have a kill to her name.
Yeah, well, I mean, these are little moments where I feel like, that was a little bit of a throw by the Dojos there. They could have just waited out, just cleared the vision that SUVO haters put on the map, and then baited them towards the Baron pit. Instead, they choose to take a 2v3 out of nowhere, like without the rest of the team really following up. And I don't know why they chose to do that. They had such a good position, and now they didn't technically throw away their lead, but they made the game a lot more close and have now given SUVO haters actually a chance of surviving a little bit longer in this game. I think any more mistakes like this might even out the game. So let's see. Hopefully JDJ are able to learn a lesson from this and not just randomly take a fight and just decide on what they want to do. Indecision is what cost them that fight there. They chose to engage on the Y, thinking, oh yeah, let's kill the jungler, free Baron for us, but they didn't see where the rest of the team was when they took that engage. So it was a very scuffed fight. Ended up giving SUVO haters an avenue back into this game, at least for the time being. But I guess the next fight is really what's going to determine what's going to go, and that's going to be the Elder Dragon that will be spawning on the bottom side of the map.
No. Soul's not taking. It's going to be a Mountain Dragon that's going to spawn over there. This is Soul for SUVO haters. They want to actually pick this up for themselves going into this fight going on over here. But yes, now there's a Baron. There's going to be a Drake up on the screen over there in that fight. As you said, just going a bit too deep, and the Kaiser ulting after the Vi ends up dying, just not in the right time at the right position. But they have complete control over this Baron side. There's no wards for the side of SUVO haters. They want to give up the Drake to pick up Baron instead. Maybe not a bad play, given that I don't think they can fight in a 5v5 at least currently. If JDJ does not throw the fight. And it does look like, it doesn't maybe look like Jettfire wants to give it up. TP's coming in. Gragas on the top side. They're going to deter the Baron as well as picking up the Drake for themselves.
Of course, I mean, considering this Yone is literally running this map on his own right now, he can just do whatever he wants. So he can easily solo the Dragon, go apply pressure on the bot side of the map. And a really good engage there, just bush camping, and this Nautilus is just left for dead. He uses ultimate, not sure what that was going to do for you, buddy, except burning the cooldown. I guess you'll have it back by the time that you respawn. But now, that's one engage tool gone from the side of JDJ and gives SUVO haters yet another little bit of breathing room. So,
and this is where the Jinx hits that 2-item power spike for himself, right? And he gets a kill as well. A nice bullish gameplay coming in from them. Now climbing a bit up on the kill leaderboard for themselves. They do end up picking up the Drake, pick up a kill for it, but they're getting a slight bit more tempo for themselves. Free, just waiting here around the corner, didn't spot out Avoid. If he had waited a bit further, Avoid might have been one for the gray screen at that point. But yes, Baron still up on the pictures. Soul still has been delayed by the side of JDG with them picking it up, even deterring the Baron. Again, going to sit right again in that bush. They really think someone's going to end up walking up over there with that ping. They know that they have no vision from the side of Jettfires over there, and no, they're going to pick up the Scuttle instead. Going to pick up some more added vision for themselves, and yeah, maybe even put a control ward here or there somewhere further up with the help of their team. Look at this. Freeze walking into the fight. Aatrox does have Phoebe if he wants. He can just continue pushing the bot side instead of picking up the Krugs for himself. But maybe doesn't want to get caught out, especially before such an important fight. Maybe one that decides SUVO Hater's fate in game 1.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a team that showed some really good drafting. Even their current draft is like really good. It's just that these little mistakes, like contesting when you are like behind on in terms of summoners, in terms of items, like, you know, picking fights that you don't necessarily have to take instead of choosing to opt to make a play on the other side of the map. It's little things like this that might actually end up costing them a lot. But you can also see that both teams have made their fair share of mistakes in this. Like, for example, JDJ in that previous fight, starting earlier, but hold that thought. As we see Free actually moving to try to take a good trade here. It does end up taking a turret hit, but of course, Yon, like I said, he's running the map at this point. 616 on this champion, 246 to 181, some significant gold and experience lead. So he can do what he wants. He's going to continue applying pressure, and to deal with him in the side lane, I don't see any other champion being able to actually deal with this Yon right now.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like anyone can actually match him up at all. Look at how much damage he's doing just underneath the turret to avoid over here.
He's gonna die.
Heals up quite a bit. Here comes the Talia wall. With that last turret shot, he's been hit down a lot. Talia picks up a nice shutdown for herself. But the Baron has been started by the side of JDG. Talia had got both sides, but does have TP if they want to come back into the fight. So does the Aatrox. They're going to base, get the resets. JDG have to get off the Baron. They don't want to fight this fight 4v5. Here comes the Nautilus. He's going to get stunned up. He's going to land into the jumpers. Jinx has been left completely out. The bomber does land and is trying to deter some fights going on, but it's going to be the Nautilus who ends up falling over there. Here comes Dachi on the backside. It's going to be SUVO Haters who end up maybe trying to pick up the Baron. Dragas is maybe trying to go for a cheeky steal. I don't think there's any realm of possibility that you can get, especially with the Smite being up in the hands of Red Devil. And no, there is not. They're going to pick up the Baron. So, just due to the careless, arrogance being showed by the Yone in the bot side, he pretty much single-handedly lost his team this fight at the Baron.
Yeah, and I think that was just like we mentioned, overconfidence, and also just you don't know where the Talia is on the map. Talia has a global ultimate. Pantheon has a global ultimate. He shouldn't be so extended. He could have just simply gone for the turret and tried to back away. But like at that point, just choosing to dive an Aatrox with an ultimate available. Yeah, buddy, like you might be running the map. I start praising your name. Start singing your praises, but then you just go do the complete opposite and int, buddy, that's not how you do it.
Yeah, a bit of caster curse coming in from him, but Drake's going to be coming up. This is SUVO Haters' soul, and this will, if JDG get this, will be their soul point. Talia doesn't want to be face checking that bush. They have the Baron empowered minions. They're going to maybe try to pick up a tier 2 even before Drake spawn. Look at this. The entire side of JDG, except for the units on this side. And nice W from Talia picks up onto the fight. The hook does land. But there's not enough damage. Nice bomba coming out from the Gragas. But can you finish off the Jinx before she gets reset? And that's exactly what they do. The Kai'Sa is going to go free hitting onto this Pantheon. He ends up going down. He's going to be in the void picking up the Vi. Nice double ultimate from the Yone. He's going to pick up the Talia at the backside. Braum is trying to run away, but the E just running out from the Yone, has to back away. And nice turnaround from the JD, especially after Vi got chunked down quite a bit in the fight. It's 3-for-1 in the favor of Jettfire's Dojo, and it looks a bit like a throw because this is going to be a Drake coming up as well.
I mean, I don't understand. SUVO Haters had no business just like walking into that funnel point, especially against a Talia. Like, you literally stunned yourself. And look at that, Nautilus hooking after the Talia Unraveled Earth has already been laid down. You're essentially just stunning yourself. Like, that is not what you want to be doing against this team. You need to be playing defensively against a Baron empowered team. But instead, they were just choosing, you know what, let's just engage. Let's just go at them, run at them, hopefully hit them with our wallets and see if we're able to come out on top, which seems to be what happened there. The story, but I mean, it is 34 minutes into this game. We have hit that late game mark now. Jinx has completed her Runan's Hurricane as well, so she's sitting on 3 items. And objective Protect the President is officially online with a 3-item Jinx. So they still have a win condition back into this game. So ladies and gentlemen, this game is still dangling on a knife's edge. The gold lead has almost been evened out now. It's relatively close at this point. It's relatively non-existent, and I mean, so far, like, I'm quite surprised at some of the decisions these teams are choosing to make. Like, I mean, they're not afraid to take a fight, but like, they're not taking it on their terms. It's chaotic. No method.
As you said, protect the president is the kind of the philosophy they have to go for. But in the last fight, after the Gragasol Chong jinxed quite a bit and threw her into the path of the Vi, especially neutralizing her. President down means your team is going to end up going down, and Vi doesn't mind giving his life for that. So well played by the jungler of JDJ in that last fight. Did it exceptionally. It did look like it was not going their way, especially, you know, the kind of errors that you did mention, those small mistakes earlier on in the beginning of the fight. But yes, Vi completely bringing it back for her team in that fight over there. Neutralizes Jinx. You don't have that much pressure coming out. Otherwise, Navoid is on the side getting his own kill, but he's too far away from the team to actually help out. Braum is left alone. A nice double ultimate coming in from the Yone. Just neutralizes anything that SUVO haters had in terms of momentum, at least going in. But yes, Jinx, 3 items in, working towards an LDR for herself. Will be completing it very shortly. And yes, walking forward. No jungle objectives right now, so you can maybe just go a bit of farm fiesta, maybe do some bush camping here there, but essentially nobody should be getting caught out, at least at this stage of the game, especially with no objectives up.
Yes, indeed. And now it just looks like JDJ just want to continue to pressure all the lanes, keep priority towards the spot side of the map. Because Yon is still, as much as he was being He-Man there and trying to be a hero and, you know, diving the turret, he still is going to be very difficult to match in the side lane. So he's continuing to do his job, apply pressure, back away when there's no sign of these global ultimates on the map. He has to pay respect because he could be collapsed on at any time. And we do see a little bit of, you know, blue buff camping here by JDJ, hoping that this Pantheon walks in. And as we say that, Pantheon has decided to exit stage left.
Yeah, we have the Pantheon. He did this DC over there, maybe a bit of issue for him. But yeah, talking about the game state, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. It looked like it was inside of Jettfire Dojo. It looked like they can end up closing out the game, but that fight just before the Baron, the first Baron, that's where it looked like SUVO haters were turning around quite a bit. They had the complete momentum. Each fights they were actually winning, especially that Yon getting caught underneath the turret on the bot side. They became the Baron, but they can't actually end up doing anything with the Baron after that fight that ended up near the Wolves camp of the red side. And yeah, it doesn't look like anyone has the momentum for themselves and going forward into this matchup over here. So I really want to see what these teams do. If they actually do manage to protect the Jinx, it can go completely in the favor of SUVO haters going on into the further, you know, fights that will go in the 5v5s.
Yeah, but I don't see Mikhail's Crucible on the Braum to kind of keep this Jinx from getting just stun locked in place and just killed. And also looking at a 3-item Gragas with like a Lich Bane and a Death Cap. If this Grug just even touches the Jinx, this Jinx is gonna get one shot. So I feel like a GA might actually be a really good angle here, a good item pickup, you know, to keep this Jinx alive. But right now, like you said, she's going for that LDR just to try to deal a little bit more damage to this tanky frontline, to these beefy boys. However, we don't see any anti-heal for this Yon, who is definitely a problem at this point. Almost triple lifesteal items. Death Stance technically also does count as a sustained item, so I definitely feel like some anti-heal is needed on the side of SUVO haters, just to try to deal with this Yon in teamfights, because he's just gonna be such a menace.
Yeah, the only terms of anti-heal they have is the Thornmail on the Braum, pretty much, and if Yone doesn't touch the Braum, it's not going to be much of an issue, at least towards anti-heal. He's going to try and clear the pink before he can get it off, but he doesn't. But here comes the hook from the Nautilus. He's going and freeze on the backside. They've left the Vi alone. Vi's being chunked down quite a bit before the ult can even land with the Jinx.
Gonna be a reset.
Now the resets coming in. Galore resets coming in for the Jinx. The Talia wall comes falling. Rook to D4 has been man in the wrong place in the wrong time. The bomba from the Gragas just to take her away. Freeze being left alone, but can he even survive? The ultimate gets blocked by Navoid, and he can't even let the Yone run, especially in those fights. Jinx getting those resets. The Yone a bit too greedy, trying to pick up the pink ward over there, and is punished for his mistakes. And this is yet again one of those times when the Yone a bit too arrogant, a bit too overzealous, trying to pick it up over there. And just look at this replay over here, Hades.
Right, so I would say that like Yone's positioning, like that was definitely the greedy positioning. He didn't have the backup of the Nautilus here, and as he leaves the fight, how are they going to take this? Your main carry is down, and you're literally giving Jinx resets. At this point, you just need to run away. Like after this point, like there is no more fight left. And I'm not sure, even there, Rook, the Kaisa, he could have just run back towards his tower. Instead, just chooses to just go forward. And even over here, like Yon trying everything he can to survive. The Talia is managing to survive with 1 HP. And now multiple objectives are going down on the map. They're going to pick up this goal for themselves. And ladies and gentlemen, SUVO haters are back in this game. This is an incredible turn of
back with. This is absolutely an incredible turn of events. A nice holdout by SUVO haters. They were so down in the beginning, but as soon as fights started going in their favors, Protect Mr. President plan comes into effect. Only one fight where it went delay, but over here, yes, Yon a bit too underwhelming in the performance coming the later stages of this game. At least Talia, nice W from her, knocks back the Yone, picks that up. The Nautilus and Vi had already come into the exchange, and then they didn't have any backup. They get the reset. As you said, they just have to run away from the side of Jettfire's Dojo at that point. Even they fail in doing that. The Kaiser falls down, so does the Yone. Only the Gragas maybe escaping over there. Now Baron picked up by the side of SUVO haters. They have the Mountain Soul also in their favors, and they're just trying to look to get the end push over here. Maybe a 5-4-1 combo, maybe get some more lanes pushing, because with one lane pushed in, it can get some good clear coming out from the side of the Yone, but they don't actually have much in terms of wave clear on the side of JDJ right now, and it looks like this tier 3 turn is going to end up going down. They might even look to be picking up the inhibitor. They are walking forward, because the only inhibitor can be picked up, because the top wave and the bot wave are pushed too far away to actually start the push right now. So this is the only game plan going into this fight. The Vi channeling up pre-Q, but I don't think you actually want any of that smoke going on into this fight currently over here, and it's going to be hard. You can't walk up too much. SUVO haters taking this nice and calm into these fights going on over here, and I just want to see what this last fight's going to look like over here.
Yeah, and I mean, they could potentially end the game at this point, and but they're choosing to play a bit more calculated. They're choosing to be a bit more cautious. They're not going to take in unnecessary risks. They're just going to use the fact that they have this Baron empowered push now on the bot side. Going to try to look to take their second inhibitor on the bot side of the map as well. And if I was JDJ, yes, I mean, I would definitely send my Gragas into the side lane. Might have to actually give up this inhibitor as well, however. Okay, now they have a brief window. Talia E is down. But it's obviously.
I don't think it's so hard for them to go on to it. The Gragas is getting on that side. The channeling up break, they're gonna have to end up giving this tier 2 in the bot side. They're gonna have to end up giving up this inhibitor. You have a wave pushing in from the mid side with super minions as well. Gragas has to start recalling over it. The hook does land, but they're getting completely collapsed by Sugar. A triple ultimate from the Yone, but it's a bit too late in this fight. He ends up going out there. The Vi is running for the hills. The Talia doesn't even want to let the Vi go out on this. I think he ends up surviving. He does come back in with the Q, but no, that's it. This is going to be all Shiro, at least for game 1. It's going to be SUVO haters taking game 1 in this best of 3 against Jettfire Dojo.
And that was a comeback game. They were literally just down so much, and then just a few mistakes from the side of JDJ, and they are punished for that. But overall, excellent game from the side of SUVO haters, really showing that they're a team that you cannot count out no matter how far down that they were. So again, looking at these instant replays, even over here, you can see that the Nautilus just gets chunked, and the Vi having to just ditch him at this point. They don't want to give this Jinx any more resets, so they're just like, okay, you know what, we're just going to go. And over here, this is where the game essentially just changed. Like, this is a fight that I'm not sure why they're taking this in their side of the jungle. They can just try to defend their turret. I'm not sure why they started a fight when they have a Baron empowered push that they need to defend against. Instead, they just choose to try to just go all in. Not sure that was the play that they wanted. So they could have been a little bit more disciplined. They had so many instances to try to capitalize and win this game. However, it was these small mistakes, these little decisions that actually ended up costing them big time. And now that we are officially done with this game, I think that they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and try to, clean up how they approach the game, because this is a team that they definitely look like they can win. They were looking like they were going to win.
Yeah.
And then they just, in the blink of an eye, just end up just throwing their entire lead away and giving SUVO haters yet another avenue to come back, and giving, amount of soul on top of protect the ADC comp is just disgusting. There's just nothing that they can do at this point onwards.
And like,
also,
especially at
every
such
single
a, they had such a huge lead for themselves, and I don't know, they just slowly but surely, that lead just got nibbled away by the side of SUVO haters, and a couple of throws coming in from the side of Jettfire's Dojos. They just had to finish out the game. They just looked so much in control, but unfortunately just didn't work out the way they wanted it. And you can't let a Jinx get to this late stage in the game with, as you said, protect the president comp with a mountain soul on her. There's almost no way you're going to be touching this Jinx, even if you hit fantastic Yone ults. Yone, he got so much ahead earlier on in the game, but just those couple of mistakes, one just a Leah W on there over there towards the parent side, bot side dying near the tier 2, just not what you want to do, especially when you are so far ahead, at least for your team. So unfortunately, JDG have to go over some of these these fights that went down and think about the kind of mistakes they made and maybe do a better job trying to close out the games.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just this point of understanding when to just let something go. Don't try to take every single fight. Don't try to contest every single objective. Weigh the pros and cons. Press tab. Take stock of inventory. Understand when you're behind, and know that taking a fight when you're behind essentially is not really going to work. Instead, just try to make a play on the opposite side of the map. Little macro decisions like this would definitely lead to some better outcomes. But let's see. I mean, I still have a feeling that this is going to be an intense best of 3, and hopefully we will get 3 full games. So let's see if JDJ actually have the tools that they need to come back. And now, because this is fearless draft, who do you feel is no longer going to be allowed? And yeah, as you can see on your screen, the MVP, we have Itachi 1212 with that Talia pick. I feel it was instrumental in their winning. The Talia E just disrupted so many, he just completely shut down the plans of JDJ in that game. Just a very good pick, a very good awareness of the champion and when to use her abilities. But yeah, well deserved and really well played there, Itachi. Your Talia was really good, and you are the MVP. So Madness, I'm guessing you had already decided, oh no, this one's over. Let's just go into game 2. But then
when you have a Jinx on your team, it's almost never over. If you're gonna give them the opportunity, especially with a comp like that where you have so much protection on your ADC, if you're gonna give the opportunity back in the game, especially with a team of SUVO haters caliber, they're gonna climb their way back into the game, and that's exactly what they did. Talia struggled a bit earlier on in the game, but phenomenally played well in those team fights, as we were talking about, right? Turned pretty much the landscape of how those team fights were looking for a team, got some important picks out for her side, isolated those fights, did a fantastic job. So Itachi, well played to you, my man. And yes, now you have the momentum going into your side. You have a strong mental, just shown by how you hung on in this game from that side. So it does look like SUVO haters completely riding the coattails of the Jinx, at least in this fight, as well as the Talia. So just well done. With that, guys, we're going to be taking a short break before we head into game 2 of the semifinals 1.
Don't go anywhere.
bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. Wanna see my ambition. I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all I got. I'm going to the top.
Guys, we are back with League of Legends Ascent South Asia quarterfinal 2. We're in the best of 3 in semifinal 1. We're on game 2. SUVO haters tape game 1 after a very hard fought comeback between those teams, and it does look like complete momentum the side of SUVO haters right now, Hades.
Yes, indeed. And I would say, like, if I was the side of JDJ, I would probably be very tilted, especially because if I was them, we were winning that game. We were in a very comfortable position in the driver's seat, and then just 2 fights go wrong, and everything just flips on its head. So if I was the side of JDJ, I would definitely try to be a bit more disciplined in my approach in this game. Try to fix those small misplays that ended up costing literally the entire game and could even cost them the series. Let's hope that, they have not lost, they haven't lost confidence, that instead are just like, okay, we just made a few mistakes, that's why we lost. Let's just try to make less mistakes in this game and try to bring this into comeback victory in this best of 3. So I'm excited to see what they're going to draft now, because as we know, this is fearless draft. So I do believe some of those champions will not be able to be repeated. Or is it all of the champions that were picked?
All can't be repeated. It's a hard fearless draft, so any champions you saw in game 1 can't be picked by anybody in game 2, absolutely, in the entirety. That's the beauty of fearless draft. Now you're gonna have to dive deeper into your champion pool over here. You're gonna have some picks you can last time, especially with the picks they went for. They thought it was very strong. They should have actually ended up closing out that game, but unfortunately mistakes do happen, especially in a high tense environment. Especially it's a semi-finals, you bound to end up making some very small mistakes. Unfortunately, that just led to SUVO haters mounting their comeback over there. So it's about how you actually end up going to games, how much mental you can keep between yourself. But let's hold all of that. Game 1 went to SUVO haters. They had won the toss, so Jettfire Dojo has the pick of toss. They choose blue side for this side, and they're gonna ban out the Yorick yet again.
Of course, they don't want to have to deal with this champion. This essentially a 4v5 champion. Like, he can just go, just like, while people are contesting like Elder or a Dragon, he's just taking a Nexus. So I would take that trade any day. Nexus for objective, 100%. I will take that trade. So you can see a Renata ban. So I guess that this is obviously a targeted ban. I guess the support on the side of SUVO haters is, and also Mbessa being taken away first rotation. Let's see what the answer is going to be. So it looks like they're going to go with the same bans, if I'm not mistaken.
It's the exact same bans, both sides going in over here. Yeah, they don't want to see Red Devil's Yorick. That gets out. The Yasuo is not going to get there. The Jax, Ornn out. Mbessa out. You don't want lean on the Renata. So these are the same exact bans from the game. Maybe Jettfire Dojo has a different game plan coming into it. Remember, guys, game 1, you didn't have the same champions, are no longer available. So it's these 6 plus the 10 from that game. So it's basically 16 champions not in rotation right here. And it's the Ahri getting picked up. The Jettfire Dojo banned out in the second phase of banning last time.
And we do see a Gwen picked up as an answer, so they're going to have a strong scaling top pick for themselves. So Navoid, I do believe he's known for his deep champion pool, and Gwen being also one of his really good picks. Let's see if they're going to match the mid lane here. Yes, they are going to opt for that, so they're going to probably pick up the Orianna. Which is a good matchup into the Ahri. It can be tricky, but yeah, I feel like Victor would be a little bit more of a safer pick because Victor's wave clear is really good, and he also scales really well into the game. This is also a champion that essentially ultimate kind of works on in a reset mechanic, whereas it just continues to grow and grow and get bigger the more takedowns the Victor gets in the fight. But Vladimir, I don't think they're going to lock this in. This is probably just a hover. They're going to go with the Scion instead, and they're most likely going to want to perhaps pick a strong jungler here, maybe a Xin Zhao, a Wukong, a Jarwin, because obviously immobile carry in the mid lane. So let's see how they're going to round out
any of these junglers with the pick. But it looks like they want to hover the ADC pick for themselves. Rook to D4 did play Jhin previously in the competition, and that's exactly what he's going to be playing yet again today. So let's see what Rook to D4 can do on this Jhin. Now it's up to SUVO haters to round out at least their first 3 picks from the 7. The Void's also been playing Gwen before this competition. The Gwen, the Aetros, you have to watch out from this man. He does do a phenomenal job. Gwen did almost single-handedly carry that game over there. Up to see what you want as your ADC. Answer to the Jhin, maybe the Xayah. Xayah pretty good in these team fights, can get out of tricky situations. Maybe a Rakan to pair with it as well.
Right, and now as we move to the second rotation of bans, let's see what they're going to take off the board. As you said, Jhin is a really good pick, and it's also good with the Ahri, with the Scion, long range ultimate, curtain call to just start fights or just make it difficult for people to navigate these team fights. But we're probably going to see a Rakan taken away here just to prevent the Xayah Rakan from the side of Jettfire Dojo. So Morgana.
Yeah, it's up to see. I don't see usually
I
go
can
to
understand
Morgana with the Jhin, but the Rakan ban, yes, as we're talking about, makes complete sense from the side of Jettfire's Dojo. You don't want to see a Rakan paired with the Xayah. Pretty instrumental in that. Any other picks or bans do you think either of these teams want to go for over here, Hades?
Yeah, and I think they're probably going to maybe want to take out a jungler, a strong jungler, take out something like a Xin Zhao or a Wukong to prevent these wombo combos. I feel like those are 2 good bans that they could try to look for. Also very strong in the meta right now. Even Nocturne's like a Nocturne Jhin, really good pick. Really good combo because you shut off the lights, you don't know where the Jhin is firing from. Also works really well in synergy with the Ahri because of Ahri's dashes and charm. You can lock them in place, get them feared, just take them down quite easily. So let's see how they're going to round this out. Leona actually a pretty decent ban on the side of SUVO haters. And then Lulu taken away so to prevent that utility. But I'm not sure if that Lulu Xayah doesn't seem like a threatening combo to me. I mean, I'm not sure what that was about, but let's see what they're going to go with. Oh, and a Mumu? Maybe too much AP heavy? Not really.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a good pick.
The Mumu a bit too heavy, but no, it's going to be the Taric for Lean. Yeah, that's okay, a fresh
now this
face
is
we're not used to be seeing, at least in the scene. So this is looking pretty good over here.
Yeah, and also the synergy with the Taric and the Gwen is actually just it's very underrated because not only can Gwen be immune, but she has that little dash and gap close to just get the stun off on priority targets. And once she lands her ultimate on top of you and you're slowed down with a Taric stun and also Taric ultimate coming down, good luck dealing with this Gwen. It's not going to be easy, but the Galio seems to be the answer. And is this a Galio support? That is my question.
Kind of looking like it, isn't it? I don't think it's going to be the Scion support, so probably it's going to be the Galio pickup in the support lane. The Nocturne jungle over here coming out.
Okay. Yep. That I guess I kind of saw that coming. I mean, when I look at their draft, if I was their coach, I would definitely go for a Nocturne here. It's such a good pick against champions like immobile ADCs like Xayah. It's also really good against immobile champions like Victor as well. And I mean, the Nocturne Galio Scion combo. Now this is some proper drafting by the side of Jettfire Dojo. However, again, this comp is gonna struggle with their range. They don't necessarily have very rangy champions. Jhin operates technically from a mid range, but however, because of his ultimate, because of his W, he's able to use that range to his advantage. A lot of CC from Jettfire Dojo's draft. Whereas the Viego was the final pick to kind of round out that draft. A little bit of a weird draft here from the side of SUVO haters. It's definitely going to be a bit more difficult for them to execute because they're going to have to play around alt timers. They're going to have to play around. They're just going to be so reliant on just using their R buttons at the right time in order to win a fight. Whereas on the side of Jettfire Dojo, these guys have plenty of tools to start a fight without their ultimate. They have charms, they have taunts, they have roots, they have fears, they have knockups. Yeah, so I mean, I definitely give the draft advantage to Jettfire Dojo. Whereas SUVO haters have a good composition on paper, it makes sense, but it's just going to be so much more difficult to execute because if one key ultimate is down, I don't see them really being able to take a fight, especially against, looking at a Scion and Galio frontline. So once again, this is kind of like a protect the president kind of comp, whereas they also have two assassins that can instantly just dive this immobile backline. So it's going to be a super interesting game. Let's see if Jettfire Dojos are able to mount a comeback and to take game number 2 and take us into a crucial third deciding game. Whereas for my predictions, I feel like Jettfire Dojo's got this as long as they clean up the mistakes that they made in in their first game and are able to play disciplined, able to play by the book, and use their champions in good rotation, use the advantages that they have. Because looking at the laning phase here, Sion's gonna probably at some point he's just gonna go do the bow strategy, just ignore the Gwen, just go proxy waves, just be annoying. And Gwen would be okay with that because Gwen just needs to just get her 2 items and then she's just a beast. So there's going to be a limited interaction in the top lane. But in terms of both junglers will obviously be looking to power farm, especially the Nocturne. Just going to continue farming until that level 6 point. I mean, Nocturne can gank pre-level 6. But it's more of a reactive jungler than a proactive jungler in the early stages of the game. Mid lane seems to be, of course, we're just going to trade minion waves, just going to wave clear. Not going to see a lot of action unless the junglers get involved. Whereas bot lane, I think, is just going to have the most amount of action because you're looking at Azaya, who's actually very strong in the early game. Jin, who's also very strong in the early game. Taric, just being very good at negating engages and also just protecting the AD carry. Galio also able to do the exact same thing. So it's going to be a bit of like, I feel like it's going to be a bit of a handshake in the early stages of the game, where both teams are just going to focus on farming, and then towards the middle stages of the game is where we're going to see some fights.
Yeah, it does seem to be like that going forward over here. We're very close to heading in to the Rift. Very nice comp coming from Jettfire. So last time they were on the comp that we thought was not the best of its kind, but this time they have, as I would maybe try to put it, a bit of the superior comp, at least in terms of draft wise. So maybe they do a better job and maybe end up finishing the game, especially the leads that they try to obtain early on. And you can't let SUVO haters back into the game, because you saw it at least in game 1. When even if they're behind, you give them opportunities, they'll make it directly into the game. They won't stop no matter what, and you just can't let it. Especially with now you have the Jinx resetting in game 1, you have the Viego resets in game 2. So these are the things you have to mind out when you're going for your team fights and those scenarios. And maybe, like you said, in game 1, SUVO haters tried to be everywhere, tried to actually get objectives. They started maybe trading objectives here and there, especially they got Drake first, but they still tried to contest the grubs, and that was a bit of their downfall, at least for the earlier stages of the game.
Yeah, and I feel like because both these teams are in this position where they're willing to contest anything, it's going to make the game a bit more interesting. So, but I would still, once again, like to see a little bit more of a disciplined approach from not SUVO haters, but from the side of JDJ. They seem to have the winning formula, the winning draft last game, but they just two little mistakes ended up costing them everything. So it's very frustrating to deal with. Like especially if you've been in a situation where you know you're winning, you know you're ahead, you just need to close out the game, not make any mistakes, and then I'm just gonna queue into Atalia E, and that's instead of defending my turret, I'm just gonna choose a fight at my wolf camp. Not sure what that decision was about. But ladies and gentlemen, we are live in the second game, and we're on the Rift. And let's see if there's going to be any level 1 shenanigans. But yeah, it does look like both teams are spreading out. evenly. It doesn't look like either team has very good engage options. I mean, they do have a Scion who could just hide in a bush and maybe try to knock 5 people up. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. We see some pings going down from the blue team. They're trying to get some vision. Let's see if any early wards are being placed there, invested by SUVO haters. Not sure if that was the most interesting choice of ward or placement, rather.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just looks like
it's not going to cover the entire bush.
Yeah, it's not. So maybe a bit of misplacement coming in from Jettfire's Dojos over there. But yeah, they have to be more careful going on into this matchup. Sign doesn't look to be starting the level 1 proxy. Maybe proxy is a bit later. It depends on how he wants. Even Mage on the Gragas could have maybe gone for opportunities like that, but didn't actually end up. So maybe I don't end up seeing this Sign going for proxies. But this was banned against Mage game 1. Now he's got in his hand. So let's see why they feared him getting the Sign at least into the intro. But now Void has the Gwen, is a big shredder coming in late in T5, so you can't let this man scale no matter how it goes on. Now we see Galio in the bot side as a support. Not seeing a Galio support in a while, at least in the region. As with the Tarek, I only know maybe you can see Phoenix Ascension playing the Tarek, not other many teams. But going forward, we're going to start off the game. Both junglers starting on the top side of the map, parting top to bottom. The Galio and the Gwen are going for exchange over there. One above all, trying to get this wave and trying to hit the level 2 first for himself. And Free has to be looking not to get hit by these free Qs by the Victor.
Yeah, and in reference to Scion, I feel like if you have to play the early laning phase, manage his waves really well. But you shouldn't be looking to try to step up to contest minions, especially if the Gwen is going to hit level 2. It's going to have the advantage there. And also now level 2 hit on the side of SUVO haters in the bot lane, but you can see that it's quite even. Both teams just choosing to opt. Oh, good bouncing grenade there. He's not able to follow through with the deadly flourish, but that's okay. Tariq will just push camp for now. Try to land a stun. He's successful in doing so. But yeah, I mean, I don't see a lot happening in the early stages of the game unless, the junglers get involved. But I feel like both junglers would just want to farm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like they want to pick up their camps as fast. As you said, power farm till level 6, at least for the Nocturne. Even the Viego, he wants his, good resets going into fight, so maybe looking for those as well. Galio's going to go put a nice ward maybe over there in the middle bush of the river. Gets that down. In the Gwen in the side, a bit of a, a more state in the top side at least. Because the Viego seems to be ahead, at least camp-wise right now. So maybe has a more tempo on his side. We did see this from RD, especially even when he was in the last game as well, that he's getting a higher bit tempo, especially on the Pantheon over there. Zaya just wants to clear out these waves with her E. Jin's up quite a bit in CS, and it doesn't look like Zaya can get much CS for herself. Now Void, what a huge wave coming towards him side. He's exchanging within those waves.
Yeah, well, I mean, Scion could just force this wave in. I'm not sure why he's paying so much respect. Oh, well, the junglers, meanwhile, they do face off in the bot side scuttle. Scion does win these. I mean, he's fighting with his minion wave, but if you miss your Q like that, buddy, it's not going to look well for you.
He doesn't have much mana to continue this fight. Now Void is going into him quite a bit, chunks him quite a bit down. Doesn't have any mana. Now Void also on the lower side of his mana bar, but now can maybe increase the wave over there. He's choosing to recall, and a wave in a good state for him at least, more closer to his third side. Viego's on the top side of the map. Nocturne's going there as well. Viego's going to pick up the top scuttle as there, so he's going to end up picking up both scuttles for himself. So it's going to be quite ahead in jungle camp. So RD doing a fantastic job on this Viego pick right here. Gwen picks up an Amptone and a Dark Shield on her first back, while the Scion picks up the Cull.
No, well, not surprised to see a Cull buy from the Scion. I mean, he's probably going to try to just... I feel like investing in an early boot is actually super effective against a Gwen, because you can space really well against her as a melee champion. But instead, he's just opting to go for the Cull, a bit more of a greedy option, but wants to have that, extra boosting gold once he completes his 100 million. Good stun.
Nice stun landing by the Tarek. Here comes the Telly, the exhaust lands onto him. The Tarek gets stunned up by the Jin W, but that's all for the fight. Tarek now popping the health pots. Jin has his 4th shot, but yes, nothing else. Oh, the bouncing shot does connect on Tarek. He takes quite a bit of damage. Has to be a bit safe now in these fights. Galio has a nice poke. If he lands anything on the Jin W, followed up by a flash, maybe 4th shot or a Q, that's going to be end of Tarek's life, so they have to be a bit careful, at least for the side of SUVO Haters bot lane right now. Nocturne's also on the close side of the bot side. He's gonna use his carrying orb over there, get some maybe clear if there's any ward, but no, he's gonna walk around. Viego's a bit far, maybe gonna pick up his camps instead first here. And you can see the Nocturne's ready. He's ready to shadow his players over there, maybe even looking to walk up, but then instead choosing to pick up his Krugs. Walks over that side and avoid. Putting on the pressure onto the Scion. Scion's not having the best time, maybe not the way he wants to farm. The waves are getting pushed into it, but Navoid just keeps on going in for more chunk damage. Lean walks up, lands the stun, has Glacial Augment as well over there. Now the ward that was placed gets cleared up by Free in the Dragon Pit, so now you don't have a red tide vision over there, except for the Scuttle that will be expiring anytime soon.
And yeah, as you can see, like the mid lane, it seems to be a little bit of a CS lead for the Victor. They're able to farm a bit more efficiently than this Ahri. He's happy with that. He'll take those. These are both champions, and if I was the Ahri, I'd want to try to pressure this Victor a little bit more in the early game, because Victor does outscale the Ahri. You're talking about a scaling control mage versus an assassin, so obviously the advantage is going to go to the scaling mage in the later stages of the game. Would like to see a little bit more map activity. It just looks like both teams have handshake to just farm, which is fine, and it's at this point where I see that Navoid is actually playing very smart. He's trying to prevent this Scion from just pushing it to his start and then just going to that proxy position. So good pressure on the top side of the map, whereas Vision is being contested. A good root lands. Stun doesn't, however, and they're just going to return back to the lane.
Yeah, it looks like action subsided quite a bit. We haven't had much to begin with, except Navoid putting on the pressure on the Zion. Rook to D4 is around 10 CS up onto the Zion, the bot side, so he's enjoying quite a bit of favor. He's always been landing his W so far. Grubs will be spawning quite soon in 30 seconds time. It looks like Diego wants to go for a little invade towards the side of the Nocturne. He's there towards his camp, but he's going to recall instead, sitting that the ward gets picked up by the Nocturne with his sweeper, so the vision that the Vego wanted does get denied, but at least he knows where Nocturne is currently and can maybe try to make his moves according to that. In the meantime, here comes the Charm Connects ultimate from the Victor, but here Ahri has been forced to use his ultimate to get out. He's trying to go forward yet again, only has one more R in her pocket. If a flash W lands, it could be all, but here comes the Nocturne with the ultimate, lands onto the Victor, picks up the kill in the bot side. Tag gets stunned up, isn't level 6, can't pop his ultimate, but Fiendish is going quite a bit low. Rook to D4, has his 4th shot, uses the extra movement speed to get away, but Free all alone, flash burn, no ultimate in the bot side. Tag's kill gets picked up by the Jin, but Jin also ends up going down. One above all, looking for a return kill. Pretty Jinda just about alive. RD looking for the last auto, not managing to get it. So after such a lull state in the game, it's a 2-for-2 exchange. Next kill will be the Feats of Warfare. And it looks like the Void with the flash gets it with the R. It's a Feats of Strength Feats of Warfare picked up once again by SUVO Haters.
Very good rotation there by the Gwen, actually, to come in and clean up that kill, because it was a 2-for-2, it was even across the board. But now, that kill means that SUVO Haters just essentially get these grubs for free. No contest. Oh, okay, Curtain has been coming called, in for the flash blown.
The flash lands, 4th shot does land! It gets it even through the barrier of the Zaya. Nice aiming, shooting coming out from Rook to D4, and Zaya had to burn her flash and her barrier in that exchange.
Yeah, that was really well played by the Jin there. He knew exactly how the Zaya was gonna move. He waited, like, you know, I think Zaya panic flash there, could have just saved the flash for the final bullet. But instead took the flash a little early, spelled her demise. But like you said, very good aiming there. Looks like the Jin is very good at FPS games.
It does look like that, and now with a bit of a bot, you know, lead from themselves, they end up picking up the Drake for the grubs that SUVO Haters picked up. So at least this time it was an even trade, at least in terms of objective. Drake going over to the side of Jettfire's Dojo, 3 kills going on the side of SUVO haters, Freeze Charm barely missing out on Itachi, nice spacing from the Victor. Avoids keeping up this pressure. Finally the Q does land. Here comes the Nocturne with his ultimate, the fear landing onto the Vigo, but now it's R out from that exchange. Bot side the fights are still continuing. Avoid against Mage in the top side, but that's going to be not much amounting to it. And even in the bot side, after the Viego burns his ultimate, nothing else getting burned in those fights. Now, Void really wants to fight here against the side, maybe trying to pick up for himself. But look at the CS difference. Now, Void at 81.55 only on the Sion right now.
Yeah, I mean, Sion has picked the Spectre's Cowl, which means that this Gwen is not going to be as much of a bully as she was earlier. And would help the Sion sustain a little bit more in this lane. But then again, it's okay if you fall back on CS as a Sion. You are a Sion. You're going to one-shot waves very soon. You're going to be walking between turrets and just being annoying, proxy farming. But he still hasn't been able to do that. So it's good by the Gwen to just effectively shut down that strategy. But at some point, this Sion is going to become a little unkillable.
Yeah, that will be looked to be the case. The stun does land from lane, but I don't think there's much that can be picked up in a Void. Full section of Conqueror are popped by him. The Sion ultimate also blocked away. Sion trying to get away and does have the flash if he wants to burn that, but instead chooses not to. The last R3 from the Void, picking up the kill onto the side. Now dancing around with his corpse over there. Mage, just not what you want to see coming out in that scenario. Now 4 stacks on the Dark Seal, 2 kills towards the Gwen on the top side. For the side of SUVO, is the side, the shining light at least for this team right now. The stun, nice sidestep from Rook to D4 over there. Does have a W if he wants to pop it. 4 shot in the box as well. The top side, Nocturne coming to pick up this wave, deter the side of SUVO haters from picking up even more plates over there. Finally, 3 kills to the side of Jettfire's Dojo, 4 to the side of SUVO haters. Stun landing from release, but there are no follow-ups essentially coming up, so just a bit annoying for the side of the Galio, essentially.
Yeah, and just to talk about that fight in the top side, like, I am not exactly sure why Sion would choose to walk away from his turret. Like, not sure what that was about. And also, when he turned into a zombie, he could have just cleared out the minion wave. Instead, he went after the Gwen and just lost him 3 CS. So, not the most Sion thing I have seen, but that's okay. Hopefully, next time he will be like, okay, I'm going to turn into a zombie and just take all of the minions anyways.
True. Maybe he should have just, exactly you said, go for the wave instead. Instead choosing not to. In the bot side, Jhin, quite a bit up on CS on the Zaya, almost at a 20 difference around, you could say that mark. Top side, Gwen, humongous CS lead. As you said, Sion, well, still doesn't matter if he misses that much CS. RD coming for a gank, but I don't think you're going to do much to Mage right now. He even has flash up. You're not even going to burn that. RD actually didn't have anything else, has to pick up the bot side camps instead if he actually wants to look for it. Victor pops his ultimate in the mid, but doesn't catch free inside its area, so he's not doing that much damage. One ball all picks up entire 125 gold for himself with that play that he picked up on the bot tier 1 turret. He has completed his Essence Reaver, while the Jhin has already completed the Collector.
Yep, and looking at the CS numbers, I mean, just huge advantages to the solo lanes of SUVO haters. But, I mean, this is still anybody's game. It's still not a very bloody game, but you can see some engagements.
Oh, but here comes the Nocturne with the ultimate. The Tyrant ultimate being popped. Will Tyrant get melted before that? No, he does not. Now it looks like the Jettfire Dojo have to be on the back line. The R forward by RD. He does get the kill. He does get the reset, but I don't think that much can follow from it. The spell shield was enough to deter the W from connecting. The flash from the Void on the top side. Mage is getting shredded quite a bit. Has to flash away from the R's that were following from the Gwen. Gwen still going in. Eats a turret shot. Eats 2 turret shots. So Mage might actually end up turning that around, but no, hold that. Goes around. The direct ultimate in the bot side. He could have maybe taken the kill, but the RE charm doesn't land the way he wanted. Oddly Itachi, the Q is also not following that way. He's going for more damage. The Q now landing. The R forward. Itachi, remember, he doesn't have ultimate. If the charm lands, it could be his end. Flash forward. The charm does land. That's free. Picking up his 2nd solo kill against Itachi. He did once last game as well. Phoenix going in when the Tarek stun was coming up. Nice taunt lands on. Tarek 1 HP. 4 shot in Jin's arsenal. The ease from the Zion not connecting the way he wants. The W lands as well. He does have his, no, he does not have his ultimate right now from the side of Rook to D4. It's on cooldown. Maybe from an exchange we did not get to see, but this would have been, as you said, a perfect time to ultimate from the Jhin. Drake being started.
Well, okay, now this game is starting to get a bit more exciting. Because Weogo is rotating towards the Dragon Pit, maybe trying to pick up this stragglers.
Oh,
Okay,
wait, TP coming in. Victor is walking out. Hold up. The fight's going down. They have to back out from the side of Jettfire, so you can't match it right now. It might be looking like a Drake going on the side of SUVO haters. Top fight just continues on continuing. The Drake's going to go uncontested. They saw with the TP coming in, they were not in the spot to fight around it. And now Rift Herald's even being pinged. So maybe you put some vision down, maybe go for more fights. Oh, yeah, free. Nice job in the mid lane with that flash charm landing onto Itachi. You picked up the kill for yourself, another solo kill. Itachi, yet again, a very slow start to the game, but you don't mind that of the Victor. He scales quite a bit and quite a lot, especially with the Gwen in your pocket. You are looking to be a late game kind of comp, so you have to be playing around that. And the Void has been bullying the Scion quite a bit in the top side. Mage hasn't been playing the way we wanted his Scion to be, and not seeing why his Scion has been feared that much that he deserved a ban in game 1.
Well, now you start to see come line. Hollow Radiance has been completed. I mean, no boot. This man does not care. He doesn't need a boot. He has plenty of resistances now, just laying comfortably against this Gwen. Gwen will not win trades anymore at this point.
Yeah, but now here comes the Gwen. Gwen is using his R, getting poked. One of the R's did not hit, and then here comes the Nocturne. The Scion ultimate into it secures the kill. That's going to be the Noct picking that up. Now they have to run away. Lean's walking forward. The stun does connect onto the Nocturne. Nocturne is going to get evaporated on the spot. Here comes the Victor R as well. It's following the Scion. Scion doesn't have an R to run away from himself. He's trying to channel up his Q, but how much can he do? Who's going to end up picking up the kill? It's going to be the Red Devil picking up his kill. His third of the game, has a bounty now on his shoulder, and it's going to be the second death of the game for Mage.
But the Xayah is literally diveable at this point.
He seemed dive, but I don't think they want to go for it. Xayah does have his ultimate up, so maybe that's what's deterring them from that dive. Herald has been started up by the side of SUVO haters.
They could try to burn the Xayah ultimate by forcing it out, but it just looks like they're just gonna continue to apply the pressure, try to maybe get the start down, or deal a lot of damage as they can, or maybe they'll just look to try to take a reset now. Good window to try to take a reset.
This would be a good window to try and take a reset from themselves, and it looks exactly what they want to do. But no, they're just still hanging around in the lane. Itachi now has a kill to his name as well. 1-2 and 1. Luden's Echo completed, and the feats of strength going over to SUVO haters yet again. Even in game 1 they managed to pick that up for themselves. Unfortunately, that is what led up to a lot in the late game stage, where they had the advantage, at least with the tier 3 boots in their pocket. Now Void putting on pressure yet again onto the Scion in the top side. His CS lead still remaining around the same distance between them. Now, finally, at least in the mid lane, the Ahri's caught up in CS after that roam that Itachi went for in the top side. So now, even CS between them, while it's Rook to D4, around 10 CS up on the Xayah, the bot side.
And I also, if I was this Scion, I would probably invest in. I know that Gwen is an AP champion. However, hold that thought, because there's a fight going on.
Here comes the Galliol, comes in. Nocturne's also going to be flying in from the skies. The Tarek ult has been put on, but Tarek gets burnt before the ult can even get popped. And it's not hit the Viego. Viego's running around. Rook to D4, nice ultimate coming out from him. Can the Curtains call hit yet again? Will the last bullet hit? No, this time Xayah does sidestep. It does not manage to connect onto him, but they do pick up 2 kills onto the Viego and on to the Tarek in the bot side. Now Void's not putting up the pressure, but look at this! Here comes the Nocturne, the W connecting from the Jin from downtown. He picks up the kill. He picks up the turret as well for themselves. They pick up the first turret. They pick up so many kills for the Jin. Jin 3, 1, and 2. Already quite accelerated. Xayah not having the best of starts to the game.
Not at all. And also now you can see that this side is actually able to take some fights. Well, not really win them, but able to survive them long enough just to clear waves. The CS lead has kind of shrunk a little bit now. Not too much. Whereas mid seems to be even, but bot lane now, this is where we're going to see some problem, because this Jin is super accelerated. It's going to be able to like one-shot waves very soon, and just sit comfortably with a Galio in his pocket in the mid lane, just clearing waves. But let's see if SUVO haters want to use the Herald that they have available. I do believe they still have about 2 minutes on that that they can use to try to take down one of the turrets. But all 3 turrets, both turrets in both the top and the bot lane seem pretty healthy, so let's see what they want to do here.
And
They
Atakan is
are
also spawning as well. It's
Yeah.
almost coinciding with the Dragon Timer over here. They want to pick up this cutout from the side of SUVO Hater. It's going to give them so much added vision. No contest coming out from the side of JDJ. Now it's a bit of a lull about who's going to make the first mistake between these two teams. Now Void also looks to be coming into the picture over here. They're going to be running around. Drake's going to be coming up. I don't think you can contest much from JDJ in the position. The Cyan doesn't have TP to come into this fight. So it has to be like a miracle steal or something of that sort. But I don't think they're even trying to be going for that. The REQ of the wall won't do much. The W from the Jin coming in maybe for a steal attempt plus the Galio Q. Just not what you want. And with Atakan as well, maybe they want to go for a 2 for nothing kind of scenario in terms of objectives over here.
But Tariq ultimate is down. They have to fight here.
Yeah, but here comes Rook to D4's ultimate. They're trying to fight, but the positioning is just not up. Nocturne is trying to walk up for the steal with his smite, but you don't pop it out. Now Zaya's been left alone. They're going to sacrifice the Zaya, but I would say that's a worthy sacrifice, given that you picked up Drake, you've picked up Atakan for yourself, and you've only lost your ADC just to a bit of slight mispositioning.
Yeah, like that was indecisiveness there by the side of JDJ. They could have contested that because they probably had intel that the Tariq ultimate was down from the last fight. That could have been a fight that they could have taken. Mage, buddy, taking aggro. Oh wait, he doesn't care.
Mage wants the turn. He doesn't care. But he might have to pay for it with RD, maybe claiming the kill on the R pop from the Red Devil onto Cyan, changes into him over there. Now it's Cyan versus Cyan. But no, that's not what's going to happen. He doesn't pick up the soul. He just walks away from it over there instead. And yeah, the Mage did sacrifice his flash and his life, but picks up the tier 1 in the mid lane. That's going to be there. All 3 tier 1s from the side of SUVO Haters are down currently. They are up in terms of objectives, but they are down in terms of turrets.
Yeah, and if you're looking at the gold now, it's like almost even. Just like about a 1,500 difference or something. Forgive my math, it's not the best. But otherwise, this Viego seems to be in a very comfortable position, has completed a Titanic Hydra on top of a plate of steel caps and the Kraken Slayer. So, and now is going to seemingly going for the Blade of the Ring King or even a Death's Dance. But I guess it's going to be how they're going to navigate these fights from now on, now that the map has been opened up a little bit more.
And the Herald running out of time gets popped in the top side. Red Devil's close by. They can maybe pick up this tier 3 in the top over here. Nocturne is close to follow suit, but so is the Zaya and the Tariq. So this might be Mage getting caught out over here. He doesn't have his ultimate up right now. He can't walk away. The knockup maybe coming into the Rift Trail. That's exactly what happens. And now Cyan does get his ultimate. He can run away. But yeah, look a bit of funny interaction over there. Did seem quite like that. But yes, the timing of Cyan coming up saves his life over there. It looks like JDJ want to push up for the mid tier 2 instead of in the mid lane. Navoid has to come there to match, the way pushing up, but Ari's going to get some free farm in the bot side in the meantime.
Indeed, and also just very good awareness there by the side of SUVO Haters to just use the Herald even in the last second to try to secure some turrets there, and good driving as well, able to knock the Cyan away. I mean, it didn't result in a kill, but it did look pretty cool. But you know what's even cooler? When Cyan ultimates and Talia rides her wall to see who travels faster. I did that in an ARAM game recently, and Cyan actually won. Like, Cyan was able to move faster than the Talia on the wall, but it was really funny to watch them race towards each other's faces. But now you can see the game has slowed down a little bit because there's no objectives on the map. But ideally, if I was the side of SUVO Haters, I would want to get my Gwen in a comfortable position to just sit in a side lane, collect waves, pressure this bot side, has TP to join a fight if it breaks out. But she's playing super respectably, has no vision on the map, knows that suddenly there could be a Galio and a Nocturne on top of her the moment she just steps out of the bush. So some good respect being shown. But once again, you can see that the side of JDJ are utilizing these semi-globals and using these wombo combos to try to take advantage of this. But you are looking now at a Gwen who is very soon going to be on her 3rd item. Not sure why Sion chose to go for a Titanic Hydra as a second item. I would have much rather preferred he went
All
for a
that
bit more
Baron
tanky
is
items.
spawning. Now Void's going to be picking up the turret, trying to, but now has to maybe position himself. Nocturne's coming in with the ultimate, lands it onto the Gwen. Gwen is trying to run away from life. The flash being burned by Navoid, but here comes the Galio with the taunt. That's going to pretty much seal that exchange. But Navoid, look at the lifesteal he's getting for himself. Has to try and get away, but no, unfortunately. God, but he's bought so much time. His team's gonna end up picking up the Baron for themselves. Sion's gonna come charging in to pretty much his certain death. There's not much you can do in this exchange. So it's going to be both top laners going down, but it's going to be SUVO haters picking up the Baron for themselves. Drake is also up on context over here on the map. It's about who wants to go for it. Nocturne's been pushing up in the pushing up the mid wave. We're trying to pick up the tier 2, maybe for turning his eyes towards the Drake. Now Void's down for 20 seconds, has TP up for the Drake fight. So now maybe instead of going for this, they could have gone Baron into Drake or something like that for the cards.
No, I think that they had no choice but to take the recalls there because the enemy team was collapsing on them. But now they're in a better position to actually contest the dragon. Whereas the side of JDJ...
Already flashing onto the Galio. Galio's trying to run away, but flash for the jungler, for flash for the support. Not that bad. TP is coming in from Navoid. He's looking around it. Drake's going to be started up. It looks like they're choosing to give it away. I don't think you can contest it. Nocturne does have his ultimate if he wants to come for a miracle. See, TP is coming in from that side. Nocturne does pop his ultimate, but a bit too late for any of that sort. Now it looks like Jhin has to run away and being forced to burn his barrier and his flash in that exchange, while SUVO haters pick up the Drake for no casualties whatsoever.
And also, again, this is just textbook League of Legends, okay? Now, the mistake that JDJ made here was not matching the reset of SUVO haters to be able to contest that Drake. What they did was the moment the Baron went down, they didn't take their recalls. Instead, they continued to pressure the lanes, push out and take a turret, try to get something back. But by doing so, we're not able to take their resets and position to actually contest that Drake. So a bit of a misplay there. But I mean, I guess at this point, what do? You are against...
Oh, but here comes Mage. He's coming in with his ultimate. Nice Q coming in. Galio's coming in from the heavens. The Taric all popped a bit too late, essentially. Taric is going to be left alone. Taric's going to get melted down after this exchange. Now, Void picks up a turret in the bot side, but that's all to the road, at least for SUVO haters. 2 going down. Flash forward by Free. The Q dot connect actually does connect on the way back and the way forward. Gets up the kill on the Taric. You have to burn your flash for that. The charm narrowly missing onto Itachi.
Wait, is it over?
I don't think it's over. Gwen has a lot of wave clear. As well as does the Victor.
Yeah, but they should be able to get an inhibitor here. I don't know why they're going to go all in.
But no, they've burnt so much. Fiendish being burnt relatively low. Gets the Victor ended up picking the kill. The Nocturne tried to run. The burn damage picks him up. That's 2 kills picked up by Itachi. A very big misplay coming in from Jettfire's Dojo. Exactly, what are they doing? Trying to jump or dive underneath the turret at that point. They're just picking up the turret and then maybe trying to initiate a fight.
Yeah, they could have just stepped up with their minion wave and tried to take the turret, but instead they choose to just aggro the turret and try to kill the Victor. Oh my god. I mean,
yeah,
I guess it's desperation. You know, they're desperate at this point. They're trying to get something back. Because despite everything going down, JDJ are still in the lead by 1k gold. Like, that's how crazy close this game is. But the last game was super close. This game is super close. And I mean, this could still be anybody's game. Like, I mean, I was about to just sign the obituary and write the final will of JDJ, but then they just come back with a beautiful Sun ultimate comboed by the Galio ultimate and this. I mean, even Taric was like CC'd and feared, like couldn't do anything, like with CC too long to get the ultimate off on time, but. Very good fight there. I mean, very good that you just, call the button, press our R buttons, and let's get some kills. Worked out in their favor, but then diving after that, not really the smartest position.
Yeah, as you said, a bit of a throw coming in, at least with that dive angle, not the one you want to look for. Avoid putting pressure onto Nocturne. Nocturne trying to get away from it. Oh, but yes, W missing out narrowly. But yeah, no objectives currently right now. Bit slow. Are picking up the top wave. Now it's not matching any side. Doesn't have the TP. Gonna jump into a sign. Here comes the Nocturne with the ultimate. Gwen, a bit of mispositioning yet again from the Void. And Gwen ends up going down. One of the people you want to be in the fights, you can't be there. Free is trying to dash forward with his R, but I don't think you're actually going to be able to catch out anybody. At least, fortunately for SUVO hitters, you just pick up on when there's not much you can actually pick up from the side of JDJ. There's no objectives that can go out, so at least you can just reset your mental, reset how you want to fight the team fights.
Yeah, and also, I mean, a good kill picked up there, so they have a numbers advantage. They should use this to pressure, at least do like a 1-4 or a 1-3-1. It looks like they're going to go for a 1-4.
It does look like a 1 for the stun landing in from Lean. He was in the bush just hiding around the corner. The charm does land as well onto Lean. Lean taking quite a bit of damage, but so is Rook to D4. E is pretty low. Victor was trying to catch him out with an E across the wall, but no. So unfortunately, even with that man advantage, they do not end up picking up anything for themselves. No objective was up. Instead, JDJ just have to just go for a reset.
Indeed, they do, and that's okay. They were able to get a kill from that. So let's take stock of items. Ari has completed her death cap now. Victor has as well, so they're both evenly matched over here. And in terms of junglers also have completed 3 items each. Basically, across the board, 3 items have been completed. The only person who seems to be a little bit behind of the curve right now is Zaya, who has only completed 2 items. Out of her 3. So this means that JDJ actually do have an advantage in this fight. Let's see if they do have the Nocturne ultimate to start at any point, but how are they going to walk into this Victor?
Oh, but look at the sign. He uses TP to just go behind the lines. He's trying to go for a flank play. His ultimate. Here comes the Nocturne. But here he gets stunned up by the Victor Gravity Well. Can he steal the Dragging? He cannot with his ultimate. He ends up going down. So does the Galio. It's not looking good for the side of JDJ. Mage is getting burned down in the ultimate from the Victor. Look how massive it is. Rook 54 can just try and run away from his life. But no, Viego gets the kill, gets a reset. Tries to stun up onto Free, but Free is running away. He does get slowed by the Hextech Soul that's just picked up by the likes of Team SUVO haters. They pick up the Drake. They pick up 4 kills and only frees a man for the side of JDJ that's not met the grayscale. They're allowed to run away. It's going to be SUVO haters even picking up the Baron fight. It's all going disastrously for the side of Jettfire's Dojo.
I mean, okay, now that one, hopefully we'll get a replay to see exactly what happened there and how they lost that fight. But they were in such a good position, and again, they have a lead and it's gone in the blink of an eye. I guess it just isn't their day. They are playing good League of Legends, and they are definitely playing a bit more disciplined than they did the previous game. But SUVO haters just
maybe a bit too disciplined, especially with that that Drake and that Atakan was picked up. There's too much respect pretty much given over to the side of SUVO haters.
Yeah, now in this instance, the positioning, the teleport, I understand the angle, but it would have made more sense for Sion to actually just ult through the river into the Dragon Pit instead of trying to take a flank angle, because what happened is, when the Sion is flanking, who is going to engage for your team? A level 13 Galio with support items? No, that Galio is going to get one shot. And that's exactly what happened. So their approach to the fight, the flank angle, was definitely not that game-winning play that they needed. Instead, they could have just relied on the Sion to engage through the river, Galio ultimate on top of that to make him unkillable, followed with the Nocturne ultimate, just jump on the back line. But now, they're looking at a SUVO haters who has...
Nice charm connects onto
really
the
good
Derek.
charm.
He uses ultimate, but the flash is enough. Everybody is safe currently right now. The wave's gonna get taken down pretty much by this Baron Empowered Cannon. Made one last auto, it does land, but look how low Victor's gone. The charm does land onto Victor is walking forward. Here comes the Galio from the heavens, gets the kill. Nice shutdown picked up. Now Diego's being left alone, doesn't get the reset onto the Galio. The Void trying to maybe pick up a kill from himself on the sidelines. RD going forward, Flash being burned by the RD to get to safety. Mage is walking up, doesn't have an ultimate to go in for the exchanges. So it's basically a 1-for-1. Galio being ended up traded for the side of Itachi on that Victor. Now they're going to end up looking to be picking up the tier 2 in the bot side, but low HP bars. They have to be careful and try to get out after this. And they look to be securing their exit over here. So the 1-for-1. No, they're not going to chase it. Inhib goes down mid side. Tier 3 goes down top side. SUVO haters still pretty much riding the momentum right now.
Not just riding the momentum. These guys are literally now They went from a 1K gold deficit to now a essentially 6,000 gold lead in just almost instantly. It's crazy to see how both these teams just seem to be constantly going back and forth, exchanging blow for blow. One coming out on top, and then the other coming out on top, and it's just been so back and forth. But now, obviously, SUVO haters in a very comfortable position to take this game. Like I said, they've taken down, the inhibitor in the mid lane. There's an open inhibitor in the bot lane, and I mean, at this point, it looks like the SUVO haters are looking.
Oh no, Nocturne, you don't want to be here. Pops' ultimate gets taken out. Maybe not necessarily Tarek ult at that point. Maybe they thought it was going to get turned around the fight, but no, Tarek ult not available right now. Free dashes forward with his ultimate, so Free's ultimate's also out of the picture. No more ultimate on him. You get a free kill up onto the Nocturne, and now you can be looking for like maybe a 4-1, but they're going just 5-man complete on the bot side. Waves coming up over here. Free using the last of his R to get to safety. And now very hard to stop this wave from going in. You do have a good wave clear inside of the REQ, but that's about it. You do clear the wave, so maybe if you don't actually try and split this Shoewaders, you can't push this in, right, get the turn. But that's where you see the Victor on the top side did TP over there, will be picking up the inhibitor, now spreads out the members of Jettfire's Dojo. That allows maybe even the tier 3 in the bot side to try and get picked up by the Shadow Shoewaders.
Want to know a cool fact? Wait, hold that
Yes,
thought. Whoa,
hold it.
Sion is drifting.
Oh, Galio's gonna get melted like he's butter, and that's exactly what happens. Here comes the Nocturne for into the fight. Here comes the Xayah ult. He does go feathers fly. The E's not coming out. Nice charm into the Q from the Sion. They're turning this fight around one by one. Two members going up, but look at the meantime in the middle. Victor is taking away turrets. He's trying to now maybe escape with his life. Freeze coming forward. Here comes the Q. The third R from the Jin misses. The fourth R from the Jin misses. He picks up the kill onto the RE. Now look at the R trying to expand. Rook to D4 is coming away. Here comes R. The Red Devil is trying to get a reset onto Rook to D4. The stun does land, does connect. He does get the reset. He's gonna lock up the side. This should be game coming in for the shy of SUVO haters. They're going to be taking down semi-finals 1 with 2-0 mark coming in. Well played by the Victor towards the end with the TP top side, creating that disturbance in the minds of Jettfire's Dojo, and nothing more they can do. There's going to be SUVO haters taking semi-finals 1 of qualifier 2 away from the hands of Jettfire Dojo in the style of 2-0.
Wow. So yeah, I was gonna say that before. Now Xayah's stats is 456, but it was 444, so she was doing a Jin cosplay technically. But anyway, now looking at this replay, this was the first, or I believe, the Dragon Soul fight, where I feel like they didn't have room to walk in. How are we going to walk into a Victor who's just going to have so much zone control? And getting your Sion to just come in from the back and flank is not going to be the angle that works for you, because you need the Sion to be the one to stand in the front line, absorb the damage, land a good ultimate, and then follow up with the curtain call and the Galio's Heroes entrance. But like over here also, like Tariq almost dying there, having to burn the flash and ultimate. Could have a little been a window of opportunity, but at this point you're against Hextech Soul, and you're also having to deal with just these super fed like carries from the side of SVH. Just a little bit too much. But it was a close game. I do
good. Like, look at this fight. This looks so close for their side, especially with the charm lens into the queue. Yeah, it just looked pretty good. Victor just going so much on the backside of the fight.
Watch this. Okay, watch the Viego. Watch the Viego. Okay, like, did you see that? Like, he goes over the wall and he tries to dash. He bumps into it, and then Sion just flashes over the wall just as like Viego like R's back over it, so it's just like missing each other the entire time. But over here, just like a fantastic performance here, just by the Victor, just knowing his limits on this champion, understanding exactly how much damage he can deal. He's able to stare down 3 people, knowing that this RD is going to be having his back, and Viego just at this point just doing Viego things, like doesn't even need a Blade of the Ring King. Essentially his own item to be able to win these games. But I still do want to give a big shout out to JDJ. They tried really hard. They made it very close. However, ultimately, SUVO haters was comfortably able to take the 2-0 sweep in this best of 3 series. So, a good team to look out for. I would really like to see how they would do against some of these better teams now that they're growing into this tournament really well. They're showing that they are able to execute some drafts that are not easy. Like I mentioned during the Champ Select, like these are drafts that are not easy to pilot. Because it's so reliant on just good positioning, good decision making and macro, and also knowing at which time to use your ultimates. And they seem to have executed that pretty well. And I guess this means that JDJ still do have a chance to qualify from the third qualifier, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they still have another chance. They're going to have a third, fourth place match with whoever loses tomorrow's semifinals. So they still have an opportunity to stay in this competition because whoever wins the third, fourth place match will also qualify along with the victors, basically with the finalists of qualifier 2. So JDJ still have a chance, at least still even in this qualifier, moving forward. So they can have another chance of redemption going on into the third, fourth place match against whoever loses against tomorrow in that Revenants matchup over there. But yes, talking about at least a bit the stats on the board over here, 22 kills to the 19, gold is 71k in SUVO haters' favor. And yes, let's take a look a bit at the MVP hand. Who can it be? The man who was hitting away at the Nexus towards the end of the game. It has to be Red Devil RD on this Viego. Phenomenal performance. Good resets coming in. Good early ganks as well. 9, 2, and 5. 703 damage per minute. 8 CS rate for a jungler. And 70k gold difference in his pocket. So did a fantastic job. Came towards the end as well. Cleaned up for the victor. And just did what you want from your jungler, finishes off the game, lets them go home with a 2-0 fashion in their pockets.
Indeed, and well earned, valuable MVP over there, player of the game, going to the Viego, who was absolutely a menace. I mean, you just get that champion 1 reset, and he's just going to take over fights. And he was always ahead in terms of farm. He was always ahead in terms of jungle camps. Also, first to make movements around the map, first to get to objectives. So he had a very proactive game. He had a very good game too. He was definitely carrying his team on his back. I mean, the entire team played well. I would say both teams actually played really well. I can't really fault them for making mistakes, because at the end of the day, we're still humans. We're not robots like Faker. But yeah, I mean, it was a really close series. Both games were relatively close. It could have gone either way. But at the end of the day, SUVO haters just coming up with the victory, the 2-0. So I guess.
Yeah, it is very well played from them. Guys, that's it, at least for semi-final 1. Tomorrow, we'll be back again with semi-final 2 between Revenants and Trend Abusers, a match you definitely don't want to miss out. We're going to see who faces against SUVO haters in the finals. But that's been me, Madness, alongside Hades for today. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Really haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gonna drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's tug. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the boys. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the letter I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. And I got a cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Really haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's tug. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the boys. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. Right on the way 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 to the top. I'm going in. I'm like, I'm gonna win. Flip the landing, I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. I got a cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut the knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the lead and I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. I got a cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut the knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop.